Lord renew you in strength, and let grace be extended unto you. Let mercy abound towards you, and let your strength and your days be multiplied. And be as an eagle, soar as an eagle, roar as a lion. Kadula kawasala, hey, yetukum silimatala. And above all, anyone that strive with us and contend with us at the gate of authority, at the seat of power, anyone who strive and contend with your people, Heavenly Father, exercising divine authority, anyone that takes our name and our picture to a shrine, to an altar for evil, let it backfire on them. Let it backfire in the name of Jesus. Anyone that speak ill and evil of your people, let their tongue be silenced. Let their tongue cleave to the root of their mouth. Anyone that speak evil of us, let their voice be discredited and silenced. Discredited and silenced. Anyone that imagine ill or evil of us by divine authority on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, according to the scriptures, as this is written, I command, let it boomerang, boomerang, boomerang. Put translation and say boomerang, 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 boomerang. We intercept the waster. We waste the waster. We oppose opposition. In the name of Jesus, we resist the resistor. Thank you, Lord. As you live here, I declare you will not be wasted. Let the waster be wasted. Let every opposition be opposed. Let every resistance break. Live here with the upper hand. Have dominion. And now we send the blood of Jesus to your father's house, to your mother's house, to your background. Anything that lifts up his head against you, in the name of Jesus, we ground it in the blood of Jesus. We ground it in the name of Jesus. Above all, any condition, pattern and cycles that are contrary to the will of God, to the word of God, to the plan of God for your life, today on the grounds of the blood of Jesus, we intercept it. Which one says interception, interception, intercept, interception, interception, interception. We intercept, intercept, intercept contradiction. We intercept contradiction. We command you in the name of Jesus as more than a conqueror. Tell somebody, I declare that you are more than a conqueror. Tell two people, I declare that you are more than a conqueror.
Tanumo onunchoni ha o dama chiechele wekun oyanutumo osolimo jiake ubawo nani aya baba shoshoeshe. Amen.
Justice Bafo Boni said the new Legal Education Act is balanced response to long-standing challenges within Ghana's legal training system and outlined the key objectives driving the reform agenda. He expressed confidence that the successful implementation of the Legal Education Act 2026 would enhance access to legal education, strengthen professional training, and position Ghana as a leading center for legal scholarship and practice in the sub-Saharan region.
What kind of lawyer does Ghana need for the future? The answer cannot be limited to technical competence alone. Ghana needs lawyers who are intellectually rigorous yet ethically grounded. Lawyers who can compete globally yet remain committed to national service. Lawyers who understand technology but are guided by humanity. Lawyers who can defend rights while strengthening institutions. Lawyers who appreciate that the rule of law is not merely a legal doctrine, but one of the foundations upon which democratic societies are built.
The Chief Justice also underscored the importance of modernizing legal education to equip future lawyers with the skills needed to navigate emerging global and technological developments.
Lawyers who see the law not merely as a profession, but as a public trust. As we expand access, we must preserve excellence. Indeed, one of the greatest lessons of educational reform worldwide is that access without quality is dangerous. Quality without access is exclusion. The future demands both.
Today's program has therefore been carefully structured to move from vision to implementation. Through the keynote address, expert panel discussions, paper presentations, and stakeholder engagement sessions, we will collectively examine the regulatory framework, accreditation requirements, curriculum reforms, faculty development needs, infrastructure requirements, and broader institutional readiness considerations.
The colloquium brought together key stakeholders from the judiciary, academia, and the legal profession to discuss institutional readiness and accreditation under the new legal education framework. For Metro News, Vanessa Edotumboating, Accra.
We also hold on to our faith like our fathers did. Come to church and sing and speak in tongues and everything, and yet when you go to work, you are a different human being.
Memma sorry, Ambassa, now more tons, and soon in Namu, now Piaqua, now Yadifufro.
Your Christian life must show at work.
Ukiso, Abrabono, it was a daddy or Juma.
It must show at home.
It was a daddy or fear.
It must show in your public life.
It was a daddy or maybe a war upon Tia now.
It must show in your business. You must be honest.
I will get the Munsono. It was a Nucredia and daddy home, a Southern home.
And it must show in your service to other people.
Sansona, Wosum, and Nipano, a Fufrono, it was a daddy.
So our faithful fathers believe that a Christian must be honest.
And the Janumuji, the Selkiso Nidia, it was a Nucredia, a quadrille.
Even when dishonesty looks so enticing and profitable.
A brand, Yentimini Nukrano, and I have chill, and one upon that chill frefro, I would do one.
Even in that temptation,
and both answer him.
Our faith teaches us to be honest.
I wish first to express my commiserations to all of our citizens who have fallen victim to the heartbreaking effects of our recent floods. My condolences go to the family, friends who have lost loved ones. May their souls rest in peace. May we all cooperate by ensuring that interventions that mitigate such occurrences are complied with. These are difficult times. We must continue to look out for each other and work to reduce the impact even of force majeure.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we the minority submit that government cannot simultaneously claim to have prepared for the floods and then be caught needing fresh maps and fresh presentations once disaster strikes. It cannot dismantle an existing waste management arrangement without a replacement and then point to clogged drains as a natural disaster rather than a policy failure. The people of Accra deserve a government that plans ahead, not one that manages crisis after they have already destroyed homes and livelihood. A call for parliamentary inquiry. We contend that given the scale of this failure, statement of regret and after-the-fact relief packages are not sufficient. The minority is calling on this House to establish a parliamentary committee specifically mandated to investigate the conduct of the Flood Preparedness Task Force and the relevant government ministries and agencies in the lead-up to this disaster. That inquiry must establish what work, if any, the task force undertook since its establishment, what funds were allocated to it, and how they were spent, what specific mitigation measures were planned and implemented, and why none of this prevented or meaningfully reduced the impact of foreseeable seasonal flooding. Those found responsible for negligence or dereliction of duty must be held accountable. Pending the outcome of this inquiry, the minority demands that all members of the task force step aside from their roles. This is not a presumption of guilt. It is a basic standard accountability that any institution facing serious questions over its conduct should observe, so that the investigation can proceed without interference and so that those under scrutiny are not left to oversee the very response to a crisis their own inaction may have worsened.
The education system is set up to produce those. So if you don't have a labor needs assessment that you are following, then what it means is that you are just educating everyone. There are some courses that are being offered. When I was the minister, I challenged universities about that. And I remember going to the New Year school, and I spoke about we don't need anybody to offer courses called development studies, to study development. No. And it was being offered at UDS. So the Vice Chancellor called me the day after and said, Minister, because of the comment that you made, a student have just come to check out of development studies. And I said, it's good for him. It's good for him. It's good for him. Because you know, and I know, that that course is not taking the student anywhere. They have courses called development education. It doesn't qualify the student to teach. And I don't know what industry, what company is going to employ students who have done development education. You go to the University of Ghana and they have a course in education that they call BA in Education Non-Teaching. They come and do their national service, and after national service, they are frustrated because nobody is hiring them. So university degree to nowhere. So you wonder why you have graduate unemployment. When you have allowed universities to set up branch campuses everywhere, and they are all offering teaching as a course, and you know the number of teachers we need in the country is not that, shouldn't be that high. So when through GTech, I asked them to meet the universities that were offering course education. This was a conversation, because what we are doing is insane. It's not helping.
They are just filling up the spaces at the university.
Because you see, they are coming and they are paying money to come, and the universities like it. But at the end of the day, GTech should be able to step up and say, we need 10,000 engineers every year. Therefore, universities should be doing 10,000.
Right.
We need 50,000 of this. Even the UK is done. So you don't just allow universities to educate, because every student wants business administration, to have so many students graduating from business administration, and you know the jobs in business administration is not there. But if they were to do cyber security, the police service need them, the military need them, so many companies, and in case Ghanaian companies don't need them, Companies abroad need them, and they will stay in Ghana and work for those. India is doing it. They have IT hubs everywhere, Bangalore, everywhere. And the companies who are in the IT hub village or city are working for companies abroad. The employees are working for companies abroad. We can do same here. We have talented children, which if you guide and make them critical thinkers, can also behave or work like the Indian companies are doing. But if you don't revamp the whole education system and do education to somewhere and not education to nowhere, you cannot confront and solve your graduate.
Ghana Education Service is implementing a number of targeted strategies to improve the welfare, motivation, and retention of teachers across to rural and underserved areas. Teacher welfare is positioned as a national priority to strengthen their motivation, dignity, and retention, and for long-term education outcome gains. As part of government efforts to attract, motivate, and retain teachers in deprived and underserved communities, special incentives have been put in place for teachers who accept posting to such areas. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to note that one of these incentives is a reduction in the number of years required to qualify for study leave. Originally, it was 3 years if you were in a deprived area. We have reduced it now to 2 years. So any person who accepts posts in the Ministry of Finance, GS, and the Ministry of Education is working as implementing that. Mr. Speaker, a significant thing that affects the welfare of teachers is their shelter, housing. We are currently engaged in some discussion to deploy the Teacher Dabre initiative of President Mahama, which was in the NDC manifesto, which will provide accommodation for teachers in rural areas to address the housing challenges that often affect teacher deployment and retention in those areas. Under this initiative, deliberate measures are being taken to ensure that the construction of new school facilities is accompanied by teacher accommodation. So this time we've directed that if contracts are awarded for school blocks, it necessarily must include an accommodation facility for the teacher as part of government effort. Mr. Speaker, the Teacher Dabre initiative is led by the administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund. We want it to be as decentralized as possible. What the government of Ghana through the Ministry of Education will provide will be our pension fund, referred to as GSOP, which currently has about 12 billion standing that can be used as collateral to roll out the Teacher Dabre initiative. So we are working together. Yesterday, I briefed the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing that we need a joint cabinet memo of the Minister for Finance, Minister for Education, Minister for Works and Housing, and local government to get the roadmap to the implementation of the Teacher Dabre initiative. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. These students are not punished for those unacceptable conduct. Mr. Speaker, only last week, I supported the Minister for the Interior and the Narcotics Control Institution to deal with the drug menace in schools. And you'll be alarmed that in some secondary schools, a student will have the courage to go and sell weed, marijuana, cannabis on school campus. Mr. Speaker, this should merit outright dismissal, because if this doesn't happen, it will poison the rest of the students who are completely innocent. So I agree that there is a problem. There is growing in this. And then, Mr. Speaker, there is a case in the senior high school WASSCE exams where some students decided to beat up a teacher because he would not help them in writing the exams. We've had an incident of that nature recorded, that because the teacher and invigilators will be strict and vigilant, they decided to mess up with the teacher. So we may have to rethink and review our punishment regime and to clothe the Ghana Education Service with authority to deal ruthlessly with any student who misbehaves and finds himself wanting when it comes to the code of conduct of the school. So meanwhile, the Ministry of Education and GS, we are implementing a number of measures to strengthen discipline at the pre-education level. Namely, we are introducing behavioral standards guide for learners, revised teachers' code of conduct, and we've drafted a national safe school policy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. The incidence of indiscipline in our educational institutions is alarming, and in many instances, I've described it as un-Ghanaian. When you see a Ghanaian student wield a gun, weapon, in a secondary school, that cannot be the training of a Ghanaian child. Parenting and socialization is a shared responsibility of father and the teacher. Government is committed to dealing with the indiscipline. Mr. Speaker, when I arrived, I drew the attention of the majority leader in the whip that sometimes next week I'll come and make a statement on the growing indiscipline and steps that government is taking to arrest it. We will have a national conference in Sunyani before the end of July, where we intend to invite academics, the church, the Muslim community, teachers, educationists to come. Mr. Speaker, at Prempeh College, the school boys decided to help them with a CCTV camera. I've seen the students go and pull it down because they don't want to be recorded. That's indiscipline. That's unacceptable. And the heaviest sanctions should be meted out punishment regime. And therefore, there is laxity.
Thank you very much, Jackson, for the very kind words you said about me. Anytime I'm introduced and they stress the fact that I'm an infantry officer, I become very happy. Because sometimes people think I'm a pay officer because of my accounting background. I am an infantry officer, a very proud one. Madam Chairperson, our distinguished speakers, representative of service chiefs, former commandants, distinguished international alumni, senior officers, serving and retired, representative of sister security services, our development partners, invited guests, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As has been stated earlier, I'm standing in for the Deputy Defense Minister who had to attend to an emergency meeting today around the same time. And that has to do with how we resolve the recent 29th June floods that has caused serious distraction in the country, especially in Accra, and we've also lost some lives. On this occasion, let me say that may the souls of those who have passed rest in peace. And that is the reason why the Chief of Naval Staff is also not here. He is also busy participating in that particular meeting. And Adjutant, maybe you should have given this your advice to the Deputy Minister so that you would have made a speech shorter, but because I'm the CDS, give you some extra time. Standing here today as a guest of honor, I feel very privileged and humbled. Privileged because this college, celebrating 50 years of excellence, has nurtured some of the finest minds in our armed forces. Humbled because in a moment we will hear from two distinguished academics and practitioners whose depth of knowledge on today's subjects far surpasses anything I could attempt to add. I'm talking about Admiral Yakubu, who happens to be my immediate senior at the Military Academy, and also Professor Enin, who taught me here the first time in 2001 in this very hall. It's about 25 years ago, and who continues to teach me because he is my supervisor, who is supervising my PhD work. Prof. Nada, I've given you some... I hope this will count towards your supervision. Ladies and gentlemen, today is 1st July, Ghana's Republic Day. 65 years ago, Ghana declared itself a republic, fully independent from colonial rule. That declaration was more than a political one. It was a solemn security contract. It said to the Ghanaian people, your safety, your sovereignty, your future are now the responsibility of the new state, Ghana. And the Ghana Armed Forces, and by extent, this college, have been instruments through which the state honors that contract every single day. The theme chosen for today's lecture, From the Sahel to the Gulf of Guinea, Violent Extremism and Maritime Insecurity in West Africa, Implications for Ghana and Regional Security. This is not a theme that has been chosen for nothing. It is because the map of our threat environment currently now has shifted dramatically in ways that demand a direct and honest response from government. Violent extremist organizations operating in the Sahel are not static. They are adaptive, resourced, and patient. They have already penetrated the northern belt of our neighbors to the north and are probing further south. Indeed, some of our compatriots have fallen victim. May the souls of our tomato traders who died in the Chitao attack recently rest in peace. At the same time, our maritime frontier in the Gulf of Guinea continues to be exploited by
government made it a priority to cut down the cost of production to farmers. And the ministry has since begun implementing nationwide gratis input distribution for the 2026 major cropping season. This intervention is to ensure that farmers receive quality product inputs on time to enable them to complete planting within the current cropping season. The increased production recorded in recent seasons, whilst demonstrating the success of government's agricultural interventions, has in some instances resulted in localized market surpluses, reduced farm gate prices, and reduced returns to farmers. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is working closely with the National Food Buffer Stock Company to strengthen the purchases and marketing of locally produced grains as a short-term remedy on reports received on marketing challenges at the beginning of the year by the government. Consequently, the ministry directed NAFCO to intensify the purchase of surplus maize, rice, and soya beans from farmers. With the active support and engagement, particularly from the Bono East Regional Minister, NAFCO has currently deployed and commissioned buyer agents in the Atebubu-Amantin district to buy grains from the farmers for the company. Additionally, as part of government's efforts to add value to grains produced, Atebubu-Amantin is one of the beneficiary districts where a private partner company is in the process of securing equipment to install to process and add value to these grains, including maize for export and local consumption in 5 grain production districts. When these facilities are fully installed, it will provide opportunity for mopping up farmers' grains after harvesting in Atebubu-Amantin and the 4 other districts. Mr. Speaker, these interventions are expected to cushion farmers against price volatility, improve farm incomes, and restore confidence in the agricultural production. They would also strengthen the government's or the country's strategic food reserves, enhance national food security, and ensure adequate food stocks for emergency situations, including natural disasters, pandemics, and other unforeseen disruptions. The ministry remains committed to working with all stakeholders to ensure that farmers in Atebubu-Amantin and across the country receive the necessary production and marketing support to sustain agricultural growth, improve their homes, and contribute to Ghana's food security objectives. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question? Yes, Mr. Speaker.
To recommend to this House the approval of this agreement. I am particularly impressed by the country that is seeking to enter into this bilateral agreement with the Republic of Ghana. That is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Because every year, we send several thousands of pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. This has been going on for a very long time. So it is time that we have a direct air travel agreements with them to open up our skies and make it easily accessible for airlines from both countries to access either countries. So, Speaker, the number of bilateral agreements that of the increasing confidence of the world in our country, Ghana, and the fact that Ghana is indeed becoming the gateway to West Africa. And so many countries have airlines that are seeking to fly direct to Ghana and to enable onward connection to the rest of the continent. And so the minister is doing a good job bringing all those agreements to us so that we can open up our skies and make our country easily accessible by all these airlines so that we can increase the volumes that pass through our airport and also the earnings to our economy from the use of our airports. So, Mr. Speaker, on that note, I adopt all that has been said by my colleagues and I urge everyone to vote in favor of the adoption of this report and the agreement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, at the conclusion of the
observation of the International Day of Parliamentarians, Mr. Speaker, which emphasizes and is waking us up that what does Parliament do and what should Parliament do and what should Ghana's Parliament do? Mr. Speaker, without any shred of doubt, Ghana remains a beacon of a democracy, and we are admired by many, particularly in Africa. Let's not take that for granted. From 1993 to yesterday, Mr. Speaker, Ghana has built viable, resilient democratic institutions, and the three co-equal organs of state are all.
Government is broke, but people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. My name is Aldo Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, isn't it? This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we're glad in it. I want to say a big thanks to the Almighty God for making it possible for us to return here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. Today is the 7th of July, 2026, and I want to say big thanks once again to our distinguished and loyal, cherished and very valuable viewers for tuning in every day from 7 a.m. to 9:55 to watch Good Morning Ghana, because this is where the real talk happens. This is where the productive, intellectually stimulating and also thought-provoking conversations happen, because of the quality of the guests that we bring and the quality of the discussions that we bring to the table. It's 94.1 FM. Let me also say that Good Morning Ghana is brought to you by AH Cafe, sumptuous meals at affordable prices. I'll give you a contact. I promised you the other day. I'll repeat it today. In fact, I gave you a number the other day. I'll repeat the number again. You either call them, which is dining out, or you can come here and dine in. Fantastic, waiters and waitresses or restaurant attendants. The ambiance is absolutely mind-blowing. You can't get it better anyway. I mean, when you look at the quality of the service against the price of the product, oh God, I mean, you can't get it. So AH Cafe, I'll tell you a bit more about them in due course. Let me also say to you that the show is also brought to you by Metro Digital. And also remember that we have a new WhatsApp number, 05586. Please, let's show the number again. Let's show the number again. I haven't been able to memorize it. So let's put it on the screen so that I can announce that to my guest one more time. Yes. Wonderful. 055-863-9114. 055-863-9114. So basically, just share your views with us. Send us videos of the issues in your community, and that's the way you also can contribute to the discussions on the show. Once again, my name is Awudu Moro. Let me now go straight ahead and look at what the papers are reporting this morning. I'll start with the Daily Graphic. It says that special needs education now free. Hooray. The government allocates 100 million cedis for implementation. MTN Business partners Graphic to deliver trusted business intelligence. Ghana can't solve climate crisis without waste infrastructure financing, according to the minister. That's on the front page of today's Daily Graphic. Now, the Ghanaian Times this morning says a coalition calls for review of civilian gun license revocation. And there's an ECOWAS chairman consoles Ghana over deadly floods. Sakumono Laguna under siege. That's also here. There's also indiscriminate dumping turns wetlands into landfill. Otunfo said to the second names Nana Mabunsu as 15th Asante Hima. There's GHS steps up malaria fighters rain setting. Upper West Police intercept 50,000 ammunition, 3 suspects arrested. Daily Guide says ex-NAFCO boss sweats in BNI custody, denied access to lawyers. This is one of the stories I still can't wrap my head around. I mean, what really would be the basis for arresting Hanan? What is it? Anyway, we'll get to the bottom of that. And then there's also JHS students slashed with machete for fondling a senior's breast. Unbelievable. Yeah, fondling your senior's breast is wrong, but why would you slash the person with machete? Whoa. Anyway, Wuntumi plea bargain talks extended to July 27. And then you have the Insight. Reflections on up and out of poverty and the transferability of China's targeted poverty alleviation lessons from Ghana's pilot experience. Bahama announces 2-day national cleanup in flood-hit regions. There's 49 million cedis. NSB probe. Iyoko investigator rejects claims of bias by defendant. Ghana pivots to green roots farming as VEEP launches national agroecology drive at Sirawa Summit. GMTF, Tamale Teaching Hospital, tightening partnership to accelerate life savings care. Africa must strive for funding options for its development project. Honorable Joanna Jan Kujo insists at Africa Days Forum in Brussels. The New Republic says that family feud threatens unity of Christopher Safo. Dame files habeas corpus application after former NAFCO CEO's attempt to abscond fails. Abu Trika extradition hits wall. Courts rejects emergency bid. Set stay hearing for July 9, but lawyer questions clients whereabouts. The ZPay CEO's home office seized over 11.6 million cedis. Sorry, 11.6 million US dollars judgment dead blows. Open fintech scandal. And as Herald editor fights back, files appeals challenging contempt conviction and a gag order. Another life lost to no bed syndrome at Korle-Bu. Oh God. Anyway, let me now look at the Vanessa. Where's the rest of the stories? I'm yet to see. You haven't sent them online yet. Vanessa, please, I'm waiting for the rest of the newspaper stories. Anyway, so let me go to MetroTVOnline.com. And it says that ex-Black Stars player Charles Taylor alleges GFA abandoned him in US. Oh, Mbappe condemns racist post from Paraguay senator. The sports minister Kofi Adams denies government influence in Black Stars player selection. And there's also police arrest convicted fraudster while trying to leave Ghana. Spain strike late to beat Portugal and end Ronaldo's World Cup dream. And there's man remanded after blowing ex-girlfriend's 114,000 cedis on betting. That's also here. Now, okay, so, well, thank you very much, Vanessa. The papers are in. Finally, the papers are in. I'm talking about the electronic ones. So, Ken Crunchy's Daily Searchlight says that Ghana Security Agency's biggest right abusers of constitutional and human right of Ghanaians. Justice Abdullahi, that's Ayape, a GRDA CEO clash over new trains. And there's a Hanan's arrest based on frozen bank account claim comical. Godfrey Dami has been talking. There's time to switch gears and support the Queens. As Kim Lyers versus Jock Green names 27-player provisional Black Queen squad for WAFCON 2025. And as UPSA commissions JK Hogle Transport and Logistics Center. That's here. Ghana Security Agencies, biggest rights abusers. That's on the front of today's daily searchlight. And then the BNFT says COCOBOT steps up farmer payments for cocoa recovery. Eurobond repayment hits $2.1 billion as government gears up for $3.7 billion dollars debt service through 2028. A BNFT forum to examine marine cargo insurance reforms and market readiness. Upper Amenfi Community Bank doubles profit as deposits near 900 million CDs. That's for the Business and Financial Times. All right. Now, what are the quotes saying? Right. Check this out. It says that Friday and Saturday declared the National Day of Cleaning. That's now let me just say that the quote cards are sponsored by the MNC Group. Totally reliable. So by the kind courtesy of the MNC Group, bringing you the quote cards, and now you see Karaga MP builds 6,000 capacity mosque in Tamale, all from the MetroTVOnline.com. There's Nana Amabonsu chosen as new Asante Hema. That's there's a big push roads project in the Jumako district nears completion. I see, that's interesting. Okay, that's a piece of good news. There's Anglo Gold launches piggery to boost livelihoods in Obuasi. That's from MetroTVOnline.com. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much for staying tuned in and monitoring the newspaper and the newspaper online review and the quote cards review. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. One of my guests is here. I'll tell you who the person is shortly.
Tanumo onunchoni ha o dama chiechele wekun wani anutumo osolimoji yake ubawo nani aya baba shushu. Amen.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600 and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302 998 246 or 0561 032 252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Oh, good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana Colorectal Center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so by, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will bedroom.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all. Her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
From the rich soils of Ghana, our farmers grow the finest ingredients. We clean, hand select, and carefully craft into bold, unforgettable flavors. And when you open our little bag of big taste, it's pure, bold, unforgettable flavor bursting in every bite. Enjoy the goodness, made with big care. This advert is FDA approved.
My new girl is coming over today, and I have to give her a treat of her life.
Hi. Hey. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine.
I got you a paint. This is Easy Waterproof Paint, the best ever solution for all sort of leakages. I got it for you.
Thank you.
Easy Waterproof Paint can be used on any surface, being it cement, blocks, roofing sheets, swimming pools, and more. It can also be used as primer before you apply any paint to help provide extra protection.
Easy Waterproof Paint. No more leakages.
This July, Ghana will host global downstream energy leaders, innovators, and experts at the Ghana International Petroleum Conference, GIPCON 2026, to collaborate, exchange insights, and develop strategies and groundbreaking innovations through strategic dialogues. The event, held under the auspices of the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Junapo, is on the theme Building a Resilient Downstream, Policy, Innovation, and Investment for Growth. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, is our distinguished guest of honor. Speakers for the event are Mr. Godwin Kujo Tamaklo, Esquire, Chief Executive of NPA, Dr. Patrick Ofori, Chief Executive of Seaboard, Dr. Riverson Opon, Chief Executive of Comac, alongside other key captains of industry. Join us from the 16th to the 17th of July 2026 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day at the Palms Convention Center, La Palm Royal Beach, Accra. We can't wait to host you.
All right, you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 FM. I told you that my guests are here and we'll kickstart with the conversation. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot. Now, the two resource persons who have joined us have both, in fact, one used to be a regular and for some reason he went to AWOL, which is absent without leave. But he's not new to the show at all. I mean, back in the day when Randy was here, he would be here from time to time. I remember that he was also a government spokesperson. And so, but he's back, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing him more often. Now, the other one, this is actually her second time here. The first time she came, there was some difficulties, and so we couldn't couldn't host there as we were supposed to, and so you didn't see her. That's the long and short of it. So this is the second time you're physically in the studio. But this is actually the first time she's going to have an opportunity to express her views and her thoughts based on her political leanings and her political, I'm talking about ideological leanings. Of course, she's NDC. And so she's going to share the party government position on the matter. So I'm a lucky man today. I have a man and a woman, I have a gentleman and a lady, and we should be able to kickstart with the conversation now. So joining me this morning is Madam Betty Seriam Crosby Mensah. She's former MP of Afram Plains North constituency, but she's also a special aide to the Minister for Sports and I believe it's recreation, isn't it? I believe so.
Minister for Sports.
Minister for Sports.
And
yes.
recreation.
Yes. And recreation. Yes. That's.
It's also former now.
Oh, it's also former now.
Yes.
Oh, you left.
I have.
Why? Oh, you were Kofi Adams' your friend is
senior technical advisor.
Yes.
Yeah.
The kind of support you were giving Kofi for him to be able to discharge his job.
I know. I want to.
I didn't know you were replaceable.
I still don't think I am.
Why did you quit the job?
I'm actually aspiring for other opportunities.
And I'll talk about that. So give me the opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the reason.
No, yes, of course. You know, my party clearly came out with a guideline.
Yes.
That anybody with the to contest for any such political office should first and foremost put down your office of appointment, I think 6 months to the elections. And so that is the reason. I am hoping that, God willing, when the party opens nomination for positions to be filed, I'll be going in for the position of the National Women Organizer of the NDC.
You took the wind out of my sails, but that's fine. You know, they say that it is always better to hear the song from the original composer and not a rendition.
I hope this one is a good song.
No, it's a good song. I absolutely have no doubt that you can do the job.
Thank you.
I've monitored your politics and I've monitored your public life. I think that you'll be a great national women's organizer for your party. I have absolutely no doubt about that at all.
Thank you for that endorsement.
Yes.
I hope the people, the women of NDC are listening.
Are you listening to me? Please, you're not listening to me. She's a good material. A fantastic material. So listen to her a bit more and take that decision. That's a very, very important decision. Anyway, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. But also Pius Enam Hajide, former Deputy Information Minister. He did a good job. I must confess, he did a fantastic job. His relationship with the media was top-notch. But of course, if you are an deputy information minister and some things don't go right in government, it can be very difficult to try and explain the issues because no government is angelic, for want of a better word. You know, it's infallible. There will always be downs and things like that. That's where the information ministry people, Charlie, it's not easy, but you still have to defend it. But by and large, he did a good job. And also former Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, remember, of the Republic of Ghana. At some point, he wanted to become MP for the Sojaman constituency, but that didn't happen. So we can only wish him better luck next time. Pius. Morning.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Yes. And how do you say? Lucky.
My phone.
Okay.
I pay my phone.
Okay, that's asking how the house.
That's right.
Yes, I'll pay. And how do you say house family?
Lekenya Poma.
Okay, Lekenya Poma. Yeah. You know why? I was born in Georgia.
Oh, I see.
My mother is 100% Voltarian.
Wow.
So I was born in Georgia. I only came to Accra when I was 2 years.
Yeah, a brother from another mother.
I'm telling you. So Edem Agbana is my MP.
Oh, yeah.
It's my old man who is from Salaga. He's Gunja. But he's Muslim.
Oh, okay.
Yes, my mother is Christian.
One leg of me.
Yes.
That's actually my one leg of my politics, my home constituency.
Oh, really?
In 2012, I was parliamentary candidate for
Okay.
my party in Ketu North,
Okay.
where Adam is now MP.
Is it your dad or your mom who comes from Joje? Who comes from Ketu North?
Both parents come from the Volta region.
Okay.
But they lived their life in Akosombo.
Oh.
And so I grew up in Akosombo.
Okay.
So,
Okay. That's interesting.
I qualify under the relevant laws.
Yeah.
And have landed property.
Why not?
My family lives there. So I thought that I should represent and serve the people of Isojaman. But of course, like you said, that didn't happen in 2024. We are looking up to God for direction as to what we should do next. But for now, it is my considered view that we need to support the Member of Parliament who happens to be the Deputy Minister for Finance. I want him to keep the focus and not get distracted.
Right.
You know, when you are in office and you already feel that there are people on your heels trying to take your seat, that can be some cause for distraction. I would rather that we allowed Honorable Ampemia put some time to focus on the development and leverage the position that he occupies now to fast track the development of our constituency. Unfortunately, I feel that we are lagging behind still, and I pray that now that we are not on his heels just yet, now that we have given him peace of mind to concentrate, this is rather the time that we want to see some more action in the constituency. Our roads continue to be deplorable. The lack of jobs is still a major issue. Our hospital remains abandoned, and we want to appeal that the Honorable Thomas Ampem should begin to look more into the constituency.
That's the deputy finance minister. All right, but Betty, I have been wondering. I'm still not sure if it's a good decision for your party to have directed that if you want to, contest a party position in your government, you should resign 6 months ahead of time. I mean, look at you, it's a fantastic human resource, but the government has had to lose you because you want to become the national women's organizer of your party. I don't know whether you want to share a view on this, but does that also include those of you who are technical advisors? Because that's not a direct government appointment, isn't it? I mean, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, my dear brother, I would. No, whilst my brother Pius was speaking away, I was kind of excited. And just to also put in that I'm also partly from the Volta region.
Oh,
when I say partly from the Volta region, my better half.
Okay.
My husband is from Mepe.
Oh, Mepe.
Yes, in the North Tongue area.
Yeah, that's the North Tongue area.
Yeah,
okay.
So that is where my serum is coming from. The serum is my husband's name.
Okay. But where do you come from? You're Fanti.
I'm half Fanti and half Co, but born and bred in Afram Plains.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
That's
half
interesting.
Fanti, half Co.
That's a very interesting.
Yes, so I'm a Ghanaian.
You're Ghanaian, absolutely. That's all that matters.
Yes. So so back to the question that you asked. Indeed, I have had the opportunity of traveling the length and breadth of this country.
Okay.
And I want to say that I absolutely do agree with the guidelines put out by the party.
Okay.
Specifically not because we are losing out on human resources,
Okay.
but something to look at it from the position of division of labor. Going around the country, I realized that the work volume, involved in taking a political position, if one is really committed and dedicated to the cause of the party, it will be very difficult to take up other administrative positions that, we only have 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And even with the focus of the president on this 24-hour economy, sometimes I sit back and I tell myself that the 24 hours is not even enough for me as a person. And so if I want to be committed to lead the women, the cause of women, then you need that freedom of mind. You need that time to be able to focus on the agenda. So sincerely, if you ask me, I think it's one of the best decisions made by the party, so that anybody who wants to take up such political positions or political office should be committed and be willing. You know the mandate that comes with that responsibility, and so you have to be clear, you have to be intentional about, you know, your decision to know what you want to do and how to in all achieve it. So I think it is providing service in another form, and I don't miss out on anything at all.
But who says it's impossible to combine party work with that of government?
It is not about being possible or being impossible. It's when you are committed. It's the volume of work.
Right.
And like I earlier on indicated, sometimes even you realize that the 24-hour a day is woefully sometimes not enough.
Right.
Just imagine going around trying to build the capacity of women, leading the agenda of women, being able to lobby and get women's trust. Vis-a-vis combining that with the position, because I wasn't just a technical advisor to the minister.
Right.
I was also the national coordinator for National Recreation and Wellness Program, which happens to be a flagship program of the president.
Right.
And it actually focuses on, you know, an advocacy program going around the country to inculcate the habit of active living. It's more of preventive health. And so I felt that it was going to be complicated or too much for one person if you really want to be committed to a cause. The agenda here is to see how best we can, you know, get the women, one, focus on mobilization of women to rally support behind the political party. Again, two, to see how these same women who have shown commitment, who have worked, are also empowered. And so you are going out there soliciting for the needed support, designing strategic capacity building for these women. When you put all these things together, out of the 276 constituencies, if you really want to focus on that, then of course, I feel that it's just right that other people should be given the opportunity to equally also show what they have.
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity that you've given to Madam to clarify
on this matter.
On this matter. You're right. I've also watched her from afar. I think that she's one of the few NDC women who conduct politics in the manner that I believe
a very decent woman
should be conducted. But for her clarification, I would have thought that she was pushed out. I mean, you know, beyond being a nice personality, this woman has the tenacity to tell truth to power.
Right.
And she's the one who is credited with blowing the whistle on the infighting in the government, the undermining of one minister, and you know the shenanigans that were happening and all of that. So I would have thought that was the reason why she became persona non grata and she was pushed out. But you have given her an opportunity to explain it. But if indeed, like some of us thought, that it was because she blew the whistle and drew attention to what was happening, then I want to blame the people who took the decision to push her out. Because she did this government a favor. We had a government that was not properly coordinated. A minister could choose to undermine another by refusing to release funding. Very soon, you suggested that we'll be discussing floods. And one of the critical issues, again, border on something like that. So I think that to the decent minds in the NDC, they should look in her direction. I wish her well. The NDC needs more of such characters because many things are going wrong. They need to self-correct. And I think that instead of being punished, she should rather have been encouraged.
My brother, I think that let me
he's brought it up.
No, let me beg to differ on this subject. Absolutely. I think
I thought I was
my brother.
No,
my brother. You got it. You know, tell me something.
No, this one she doesn't like.
No, I appreciate the fact that you acknowledge how straightforward and how disciplined I am, and so I want to take it on that angle. And I don't want anybody to feel or to think that per your presentation, it is what it is. It isn't.
Good.
I did it out of goodwill. And like I rightly stated, the volume of work involved in the agenda sets, I feel that, look, it was enormous. And I am committed to seeing to it that, look, I was in Parliament in the year 2024, that is the 8th Parliament, when the law, that is the affirmative action, was passed into law.
Right.
Currently, as we sit, or as we speak, what has been the implementation? I'm looking for an office, both MPP and NDC, the major political parties in this country, to take out the law and monitor and ensure the implementation to the latter.
Right.
And so it absolutely has nothing whatsoever to do with being pushed out or staying there. Indeed, at every point in time when the Honorable Kofi Adams, who happens to be a very good friend of mine, calls on me for any form of support, I am always willing and ready to go out there. It was a personal decision. And again, I'll tell you something. With regards to the guidelines of the party, it was very clear that people hold it. And like I said, my position was not just a senior technical advisor.
Right.
I also doubled as the national coordinator for National Recreation and Wellness Program. And so combining all this, administration or jobs together, I felt that for me, focusing on women and elevating women to the next level is an area of interest that I want to give all my time and my resources into. And so I'll plead with you that it is not us. My brother here is trying to be a little diabolic, and it is not so.
He's trying to be mischievous, man. But Betty, what did you actually say? What was the context? I mean, that statement which went viral about the Agric minister and your interaction with him and your experience with him and what he told you. I'm happy you're here. Try and set the record straight. What was the background? What made you say what you said? And do you think that you've been captured accurately by
You see,
the media?
my brother,
Okay.
over the years, from both political angles or political angles,
Sure.
when we talk about governance and we talk about development, the focus quickly shifts to the government of the day. We do not even sometimes see the inputs of the opposition leaders. More so to think about what the ordinary citizens also have, bring to the table.
Right.
And so, as a National Women's Organizer hopeful, I had the privilege of engaging with a few women, and I felt that it was a right platform to encourage and inspire them to believe in what we bring to the table as women, and that we should move away from the time when we are expecting freebies from government or specific individuals, and then when that doesn't happen, we get quite offended, we get demoralized, and we don't feel like giving out our best. I felt that, look, I cited just an example that other institutions are thriving, they are doing well irrespective of the delay in government releases. And you and I will agree that it didn't start, when it comes to delay in government releases, it didn't start from His Excellency's time. This has been the situation over the years. But we have some agencies, ministries that are thriving, that are doing so well irrespective of that. And they are able to build on it based on their network, their relationship, and their experiences. Right. And so if we have that kind of, leadership in place, then yes, whilst we are waiting for government budgetary allocations to be released and what have you, we can also depend on our experiences and our networks to make sure that the work is done. And so that was the focus of finding ways to empower the women that yes, we can, and we have a voice, we bring a lot to the table. All we needed to do was to build our capacity, join our hands together, and believe in ourselves that, look, if Ghana really wants to go forward and develop, then the other resources, the individual things that we bring on board need to be looked at. So simply, that was the basis for the argument. Unfortunately, like my brother Pius is doing this morning, I feel that our friends from the other side, I keep telling them, because I have a lot of friends in the MPP, that they try to be sometimes very mischievous about some of these things, and they want to put meaning or put words or look for the political essence in some of this conversation. I feel that when you do that, it becomes rather unfortunate. It makes us lose the essence of the conversation. Because here is the situation, a woman trying to inspire and encourage other women that, look, if we are able to develop our capacity, if we are able to pull our resources together, this country can also depend on us. And instead of looking at the capacity of the women, we decided to shift it into political arguments dragging inner caucuses here and I felt that was quite unfortunate. Because if you ask me, both the Minister for Finance and the Minister for Agric are both doing fantastically well. Both sectors, so far, so good. We have economic stability. We have the exchange rate being stable. We have decline in inflation. These are some of the attributes or credits that you can definitely. We have even long-standing debts being settled. We have a ministry that is being able to move Ghana from World Bank and IMF conditionalities and what have you. These are things that we need to applaud the government of. So at no certain point will I look down on the contributions of these very people, and I appreciate them very much with all the experiences and the skills they bring.
I get where you're coming from, and I get the intention behind the comments or the statement that you made, but I think that the mention of the Agric Minister is what perhaps gave some kind of a cannon fodder to your critics to do what they did with how they decided to understand where you're coming from and to use what they understand to propagate whatever it is that they're propagating. Now, when you went to the Agric Minister, what was the nature of the conversation? What did he tell you?
I will prefer not to go into details. The truth of the matter is that the conversation I had with the Minister for Agric is a personal conversation.
Right.
It was not supposed to be put on a national television or national discourse. Again, when I met with my women, it was an inner caucus conversation that again wasn't supposed to be put out there. And so on that note, I feel that this conversation shouldn't have been had in the first place. I was confident and I was quite comfortable addressing that group of people, and I felt that, look, let's call a spade a spade. Let them know exactly how we can empower women. Let us continue to encourage one another. Let's look at things from other perspective instead of always feeling left out, instead of feeling that, simply because somebody did not put the food in our mouth, we cannot eat. There are so many ways of, getting things done, and which I think the focus should be on building the capacity of women, empowering these women, so that, because women have sacrificed so much, we have given so much to this country. And whilst we're talking about it, let me use this opportunity to appreciate my very own president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for appointing for the very first time a female, my gender, a woman, as the Auditor General of this country. I want to applaud I want to congratulate Madam Graham, Dr. Graham, on her appointment as the Auditor General for this country. I simply believe that when women are placed at strategic positions, this country, of course, we are witnessing a lot of challenges, but I believe that when women are placed at certain strategic positions, they have a way of delivering this country to the best that we can have.
So, Pius and Madam, I'll take a short break.
Let me just do a quick intervention.
No, sorry,
There's
don't
no
worry.
intervention for you.
After the break, I'll bring it.
Oh, no, I just wanted to...
No, I'll bring it, don't worry.
Pius, you said that we should you have clarified.
So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television, and but we'll take a break. But before we take the break, I hope that Madam, she's a politician and she understands that the thing about the type of politics we do here is that you only need to make a statement. That's all. Sometimes it's a very innocuous, harmless one, but then it is very easy for people to pick it up. And of course, if you look at the timing, not long after you made that statement, there were all these rumors, whether it is true or not, there were all these rumors about Finance Minister and Agric Minister not being on the best of terms. It was rumor. It's purely speculative. We don't know this as a matter of fact. And so the people who were interested in finding that type of what I call mischievous propaganda had to use you as basis for believing that something untoward was happening, even though what you said had nothing to do with a fight between two ministries, quite clearly. And I'm happy that you set the record straight on this one. So I'll come back from the break and I'll get Pius to make his concluding remarks, and then we'll be visiting the BNI. For the first time, we'll be going there. We want to know what's happening there. Somebody has been caged. And his reason for being caged is something that we're really struggling to understand. I don't know what information you have to share with us. This person had been given clearance by the court to travel outside to go and seek for medical treatment. He's going to just check his eyes. And he was arrested at the airport, apparently because he's he was going to cash some money take money from his account, an account which has been frozen. So I don't know, something just doesn't add up with the story. And we've been working alliance to get through to the Attorney General's department to try and throw some more light on why Abdul Hanan the Attorney General's Minister of Justice, Attorney General's department decided to ask the security agencies to arrest him and take him back to DNI and lock him up. I mean, something is not right with the story, and before we draw any conclusions, I think that is only fair that we hear from them. If we can hear from the Attorney General, Dr. Justice Sai, right, if we can get Justice Sai to speak to on this matter, that would be great. But if otherwise, once he leaves a gap, people are free to speculate and say what they want to say. It's as simple as that. So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. Please stay with us.
I went to the Minister for Agri's office. And he was telling me, said, Betty, when you say a very minister in India, you release via money. I said, so how are you working? I said, I'm dependent on my international friends. Did you know that we have NGOs, we have civil society organizations that are interested in helping women in Agri? Did you know that? How can we send the women? I went to the Minister for Agri's office. And he was telling me, said, Betty, when you say a very minister in India, you release via money. I said, so how are you working? I said, I'm dependent on my international friends. Did you know that we have NGOs, we have civil society organizations that are interested in helping women in Agri? Did you know that? How can we send the women?
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Hello my friends, my name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush.
makes your teeth stronger. Chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids, happy smile.
Hello, people of Ghana. Looking to buy land this World Cup season? I'm here to give you 6 solid reasons why Estate Masters is your most trusted estate partner. 1. We are genuine. Here at Estate Masters, every promise is real, every transaction genuine. We don't just sell lands, we sell peace of mind. 2. We are credible. Our credibility is proven. We are who we say we are, respected, recognized, and trusted across Ghana. We sell litigation-free lands. With us, your land is litigation-free. No disputes, no worries, just security for you and your family. Free site visits. We bring you to the land at no cost. Free site visit means you see before you buy with full confidence. Your paperwork is on us. We provide free documentation, ensuring your ownership is clear and protected. And yes, you enjoy unbeatable discounts when you buy land from Estate Masters to make land ownership even sweeter. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure your genuine land with Estate Masters. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Every heart burning bright. Oh. Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's a new. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Me did it, Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come on, Tom Preko.
Ghana for the second World Cup running, the only Africans left standing.
What's getting another word? We could take close to 200 doctors. Oh, Piazza Nampi, challenge today, the jackpot day. We did live.
He's in the area. He's gone.
Oh,
it's the Lucky World Cup Sikapuduo promo. Every 11th June, Kosi 31st July 2026. Play and win your share of the 1 million Ghana City jackpot with a minimum stake of just 10 Ghana Cities. 20 lucky customers go win their share of the 20,000 Ghana Cities daily jackpot. Top 10 agents go chop bonus every weekend. Trying to Lucky app, Lucky website. Wo agent who are now dialing *288#. Lucky World Cup Sikapuduo. Kitty one dickers, yeah.
Auntie, one man no chopo. Blow beard your mame.
Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Not for persons under 18. Licensed and regulated by the NLA.
Lucky. Play small, win big. Abina.
Edi asema, menya oden. O tianti mu amanfo ada. O hye me boso beto phone na mame. Me phone na say dada. Menya oden.
Them was surprised man.
Surprise ben.
Surprise.
Hey, Kofi papa. Your phone o. iPhone 13. Nanya ne.
Ende, me frankofo bi mienu. Amuko circle. Ene ba ko ne ka chena dan for hour. Ono odi ni Ghana card. Eko EBA phone so a. Otua 40% pen edi ni phone man no a. Da kan obetua ne kakra. Timothy ya me drop na me so me call ho. Ene me kwanya wo phone di bre on.
Oh, Kofi papa me da se. I'm sure.
Wo EBA phones hadie, yeton iPhones ne ho akade nyina. Ye sanso de ma wholesale. So ye dealer na so pedodo atua. Anase afi na wo hye iPhone business na sia. Braya sia ye. Hwehwe ye chira kwan e wa Accra Circle Mall. Any tiptoe lane, modern photos in chain. American Monso, ye ni Odor Rice ene edi nhwenim. Kumase ye wedum ejekuma brunsan nim. Obetumi so hu ye e wo www.ebaphones.com. EBA Phones, no hassle cry.
watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with my honorable guest, a lady and a gentleman. So Betty Sariam Crosby Mensah is a former MP for Afram Plains North constituency. She is also a national women's organizer hopeful on the ticket of the NDC. She wants to become the next national women's organizer of the NDC. I've said that I don't have any doubt at all about her capacity and the competencies to do the job. So the delegates would have to look in her direction. She's a fantastic woman. Human relations is absolutely spot on. And also Pius Enamhajide, a former Deputy Minister for Information, also former Deputy Minister Youth and Sports, Republic of Ghana, and also a former Esu Jaman constituency aspirant. As I said, unfortunately it didn't work out, but they say a soldier lives to fight another day. So, Pius, can you briefly give us your concluding remarks on what Betty has said, and we can move on?
I just wanted to intervene with you and our cherished viewers that we should accept my sister's explanations. I think that the issue actually, even if she had not spoken, the issue was out there. It was just a question of time.
Right.
Remember, the Deputy Finance Minister was in Parliament to make a claim that about 1.6 billion cedis had been released to the Ministry of Agric. And the Ministry of Agric came out to frontally refute the claim.
Okay.
And insisted that only about 453 million cedis had been released. Later on, I think that it was blamed on the GIFMIS. But one of your regular panelists on this show, and somebody who I believe is very fond of the NDC, the current NDC government, he speaks quite highly of them.
Okay.
Mr. Kwesi Pratt has made comments to the same effect and has actually even questioned the fidelity of the people to the government and the leadership of the government, i.e. president, and actually also wondered why the president is keeping quiet in the midst of all this lack of coordination within his government. So we should not scapegoat Madam here. This is something that everybody knows. It didn't come from her. It's been out there. We know that the NDC, in the NDC, every Tom, Dick and Harry believes that maybe because the bar has been lowered, everybody wants to be president. All the ministers are doing their things. The Agric minister is lacing his boots, the finance minister is doing same, the chief of staff is doing same. I mean, the vice president appears to be probably maybe relegated, or I mean, there's something happening, and we know that. So nobody should come and blame the poor innocent whistleblower and then winch at her and pigeonhole her. I think that we should accept her explanations.
The challenge I have with your commentary this morning is still suggesting that what she said has something to do with that back and forth. I mean, she has just told you a while ago that has nothing to do with it. And she gives you a context for why she mentioned the Agric minister's name and so on. And so if we can move on.
Yes, we can move on. That's exactly my position.
No, because you said
that we should move on.
No, because you said
she's not the reason.
I agree. Because you said that she's been scapegoated. Actually, it's far from that. It's not. Has not. She said, "Oh, I resigned voluntarily because I want to pursue another,
no, she will say that ambition. Because I had a TV show. I had a
Well, you want
let's allow
you want to speak for her.
Let's allow sleeping dogs.
Speak for her.
No, but I mean, it's unfair. It's unfair.
It's unfair that what?
It's unfair that when the truth is spoken,
I don't have
then
the rights.
People get penalized and targeted.
She says it's not true. Let's move on. It's not true.
I do not have the right to also take a decision on my own.
Anyway,
as a citizen of this country.
Yeah,
you have a right.
So a lady and a gentleman. Let's move on. Let's move on. You know, Pius or Hadri.
I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept. I will do this. Is your program. This is my first time. I'm missing just how.
I know. Let's take it easy. So, gentlemen and lady, let's do this. I want us to raise this issue because for me, it borders on rights. It borders, and I'm talking about people's rights and liberties. It borders on constitutionalism, and it borders on constitutionality, and so on and so forth. Because the Constitution is quite clear on what you ought to do. And so I've been thinking, and I've been thinking because I still feel that the answers are still not out there. The explanations that have been given by the Deputy Attorney General is still not enough, and so we still have to ask some questions. So today's Daily Guide by Jibril Abdulrazak says, lawyer for embattled former Chief Executive Officer of the National Food and Buffer Stock Company Limited, NAFCO, Hanan Abdul Wahab Aludiba, have filed an application urging the court to compel the Attorney General and Director of Bureau of National Intelligence, BNI, to produce his body following his Rambo-style arrest at Accra International Airport. An affidavit in support of the application sworn to by his wife, Faiza Seidu-Wuni, avers that the embattled former government appointee has been denied access to counsel and his family since his arrest in the late hours of July 4, 2026. Now, his lawyers argue that the arrest and subsequent detention were merely calculated to defeat the orders of the High Court, which had granted him leave to travel for medical treatment. So he had the High Court's permission to do that. Now, they further contend that the arrest at the airport was unlawful and in breach of Mr. Aludiba's fundamental rights, as both the manner of the arrest and the reasons subsequently assigned for same violates the Constitution. Now, Mr. Aludiba is standing trial with his wife, Faiza Seidu-Wuni, for allegedly stealing and causing financial loss to the state, totaling 62.6 million cedis. He was arrested at the airport in the late hours of July 4 when he attempted to travel to the United Kingdom for a medical reason. Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Shremsai, in a Facebook post, confirmed the arrest and claimed Mr. Aludiba, who was granted permission by the trial court to travel, attempted to use false means to empty his frozen bank account with the Republic Bank on Thursday, which occasioned tonight's arrest. His legal team, led by former Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame, sharply denied the allegation and threatened to initiate contempt of court proceedings against the AG and the BNI director for thwarting the efforts or thwarting the orders of the court, which permitted him to travel to London for medical reasons. They have subsequently filed an application for habeas corpus urging the court to compel the respondents to produce former CEO, since officers of the BNI have refused to grant both his family and his legal team access to him. The affidavit in support pointed out that Mr. Aludiba was arrested by heavily armed men who identified themselves as BNI officers just when he was waiting to board a flight to London. He was not informed of the reasons for his arrest, nor was he informed of his rights, including his right to counsel as required by Article 14 of the Constitution, the affidavit avers. The wife further avers that Mr. Aludiba, upon his arrest, placed a call to his lawyer, Mr. Dami, who requested to speak with the officers. She alleges that the arresting officer refused to speak with the lawyer, stating that they were there to carry out the instructions of their superiors to arrest the applicant and not to speak with the lawyer. Madam Wuni further contends that there is no reasonable suspicion of her husband having committed any offense in the nature of what the Deputy Attorney General alleged in his Facebook post, thus violating the protection of the applicant's right to personal liberty guaranteed by the Constitution. She said both her visit and that of the husband's lawyers to the BNI facility to see him proved futile, as they were told it was weekend and they could not be allowed access to see him unless there was an order from above. That the officers were met at the BNI counter office boldly and repeatedly stated that they do not work on weekends and that lawyers were not allowed to visit their clients who were in custody at the BNI cells except pursuant to orders from above. She said the officers also refused to allow her to see or to serve her husband with breakfast she had prepared for him because visitors were not allowed on weekends. She also avers that calls as well as messages by Mr. Dami to the director of BNI in an attempt to secure bail elicited no response, even though there was evidence that same had been read. Madam Wuni further alleges that the Attorney General and the BNI have failed to inform Mr. Aludiba or his lawyers of the specific offense known to the laws of Ghana alleged to have been committed by him. The application is therefore asking the court to order the AG and BNI to produce Mr. Aludiba and also be allowed to travel to the United Kingdom for medical treatment. Pius, what do you know? You're not a lawyer for Anan, but neither are you a relative of this. The only thing you have in common is that you all belong to the same party, which is the NPP. I'm sure that you're also friends. What do you know about this story?
Well, thank you very much, Moro. I feel very sad as a Ghanaian today. And I also feel particularly scandalized as somebody who has always spoken about the rights of individual citizens and the need to protect same. And I've always insisted that the most important, perhaps, duty of the state is the protection of the rights of citizens. But to see that the state is the one at the forefront of disrespecting the rights of citizens is a big source of worry for me. I'm not even too worried about the wickedness of man towards man. This is somebody who was traveling for health-related reasons. He was not well. Went through the processes, got an order of the court to travel. The court gave him his passport. The court gave him a few days to be back within the jurisdiction. The court further instructed that he should hand over his passport upon his return. He was going to be away just for about 4 or 5 days. 6 days at most, if you include the date by which time he should have presented his passport back to the court registry. How callous, how wicked, how inhumane, how sadistic can one be that somebody on the way to the hospital can now be arrested and kept in cells without food? The wife prepares breakfast, brings to the ill husband. They will not even admit the breakfast. His lawyer cannot be allowed to see him. To the extent that the lawyers yesterday had to go and file habeas corpus writ to virtually force the state to produce the body. I would have thought that as a country we were supposed to be making progress. We have come from far. From the days that women were lashed publicly, and sometimes, I mean, early days, early in the morning still, I want to be careful. We have come from far. We have gone through the systems where even some of the laws were reviewed to enhance the freedoms of the Ghanaian people, i.e. the repeal of the criminal libel law, for instance. I would have thought that the NDC, His Excellency President John Dramani Mohammed's research agenda would have been to make progress, develop upon the past. We should be making progress. Now it appears that we are retrogressing. We are going back into the dark old days. Or we have come to a point in this country that even bail is being weaponized. I fear that very soon they will ask some of us to probably bring the body of Christ before bail is granted. That is how far we have got. That is the extent of the degeneration. And just like Madam here, there are a few people, look, like Honorable Haruna Idrisu, like Honorable Muntaka, they are members of the NDC as well. Honorable Haruna is an astute lawyer, but even he has been compelled. He has been compelled by the extent of degeneration and our retrogression to have had cause to complain about the modus operandi of our security agencies relative to some of these things. So Sunday, after church, I got home and I saw a post of the Deputy Attorney General ostensibly accepting responsibility for ordering the arrest of Mr. Abdul Hanan. The story of Hanan, we all know. You arrested this man, you organized press conferences, you said all kinds of things, you were worried about even the number of watches he had, the furnishing in his house, you made all kinds of claims. You pronounced him guilty at your press conferences. You went to court, case travels, the man has his defense team led by the Venerable Godfrey Dami. And at a point, the state said they were no longer interested, they dropped the cases. When the gentleman was leaving the court premises, he was rearrested. And now you see that the charges that have now been preferred have been reduced. Some of the bail conditions were actually also reviewed. The man cooperated with the law. He went back to court. You arrested him, kept him for a number of days. You went to court. The court has granted him bail. In this country, under our laws, one is innocent until a competent court of jurisdiction pronounces you guilty. He has obtained an order of the court to travel. Then we have this cock and bull that he attempted to withdraw money from a frozen bank account. My understanding, Moro, is that when he was first arrested and the charges were preferred, the processes of that arrest probably may have included the freezing of some accounts. But I thought that the state said that they had dropped all those charges. And that case effectively had collapsed together with all of his processes. So if you want to assume me without admitting, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm here, I'm asking myself. So at what point is it the old cases which the state has withdrawn? Is it the processes relative to that old case that is being discussed? Because as far as the lawyers are explaining, now the things they are in court over, the Justice Shemsai or the Attorney General has not gone to court to ask for a freeze of those accounts. But in any case, they argue that there has not even been an attempt to withdraw money from any frozen account. If your account is frozen, you want to withdraw, you can't withdraw money from a frozen account. Bro, can you?
No, you can't.
If the order is served on the bank, the account is frozen.
You can't.
So assuming without admitting that there was even an attempt, and I'm saying that for the records, I'm stating that the lawyer's position, and I believe the lawyer speaks for his client, is that there was no such even attempt to withdraw money. You have brought the gentleman back. You can't even allow the family. You can't even allow the lawyers to see. What kind of republic is this?
But I hope that you also appreciate that the mens rea in itself, that is if indeed what Justice Starr is saying, we say mens rea has the intention to even do it itself is a crime. We cannot independently confirm or verify or authenticate what he said, but he says the man attempted to take money, which is to use illegal means to take money from his bank account. We don't have the full facts of the matter. When they go to court, I'm sure that whatever evidence they have, they'll put it before the court and to tell the court that the reason why we ask that the guy cannot travel is because this is an evidence of what he attempted to do. Now, whether that in itself can constitute sufficient basis for them to have stopped him from traveling is another matter the court will deal with. Because remember that Dami is in court for two reasons, which is that we want to see my man. Where is he? So the court must get the BNI to produce him. The second issue is that whether the Attorney General Department had a right to have stopped Hanan from traveling, especially when the same court had given him the permission to travel. So that if you don't want the guy to travel, go back to the court and say, we want to stop the guy from traveling. The court must issue a warrant that says, don't travel.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying that the matter is hydra-headed. So let's take it one after the other. Your argument is that based on the earlier charges that were filed against him, which when dropped, new ones have been filed. You are asking the question, whether by virtue of those old charges that were dropped, does that automatically reverse the decision for his account, or does that unfreeze his account? I'm not a lawyer, but I would think that the unfreezing of the accounts would also have to come with a new directive by the court. I don't think that by merely dropping the charges, you would have ostensibly, or you would have automatically you would have unfrozen his account. I don't think so. But I'm saying, I'm talking as a layman. But let's even assume, without admitting, that the dropping of the old charges does not impact or influence or affect the accounts which have been frozen. There's no way the guy can take money from his account unless, I mean, he can make an attempt, but he will not succeed. You get a point I'm trying to
Exactly the point. And that's why
he will not succeed.
That's why, again, just like you, I'm not a lawyer. We just casual reading, fundamental reading of the law.
Yes.
Applying common sense, you see that no. Yeah, these things are straightforward. You talked about mensura, that is true.
Yes.
But the action itself, the actus reus, that one too must be looked at.
Of course. No,
the attempt to withdraw money.
Yes.
Is that a breach of the order, or it is the withdrawal of the money from the account which will constitute then a crime?
The court will determine.
But the point is that somebody had made a value judgment already, that assuming without admitting that he even put his ATM card in the machine and money didn't come out, that alone constitutes a breach of a court order freezing the account. I mean, and you begin to wonder that to the reasonable mind, how does that constitute crime? Look, the last time I went to the bank to withdraw money, I took my wallet, and instead of slotting in my ATM card, I rather took my Ghana card. Upset Monday, I took my Ghana card, and at the point, I was virtually slotting it in before I noticed that, oh, this was not my bank card, and it was rather my Ghana card. Somebody can have a number of cards, and you slot one in and notice that, oh, that's not the card. So that means that, assuming without admitting there was even a subsisting order on the a freeze order on the account, that alone constitutes a crime. That there has been an attempt, not that money has been withdrawn from. I think that we are just making excuses.
I'm just saying
it's not tenable. To the reasonable man, it is not tenable.
But Pius, sorry, we're chatting, so please bear with me. I'm saying that when a bank unfreezes your account, or defreezes, I don't know what word you've used, but if let's say unfreezes your account, for want of a better word, you would have been formally notified, or you would have been formally informed that now the court said your account should be frozen, but it's now been reversed. So you are free to go and take money from your accounts. Whether you want to go to the counter.
No, not necessarily.
You will not be informed?
Look, this is so assuming that you were arrested on some specific charges.
Yes.
Sequel to that, your account was frozen.
Yes.
Then the court drops the charges. You are a free man.
Yes.
Can you not go and access your money?
But that's what I'm saying. That you see, that's what I'm saying. That
so it's an
important question you're asking.
Yes,
it's an important question you're asking. But the question I'm also asking you is this: that if your account is frozen by virtue of the charges that have been leveled against you or that have been filed against you,
yes,
what you and I don't know is whether by the mere dropping of those charges, it means that your account is now accessible. We don't know that.
Yeah, but if
I'm thinking
yes,
again from a mere mortal layman's point of view.
Yes.
That if your charges are, I remember that when those charges were dropped, just days after, new ones were filed.
But they were dropped.
That's true.
Yes.
What we don't know is whether the new charges have a direct correlation to the freezing of the account.
Cannot.
We don't know.
It cannot.
No, hold on.
It cannot.
No, hold on.
It cannot.
No, hold on.
That is why.
You see, we don't know.
Why, no, it cannot.
Have you seen the new charges?
That is why, when you are rearrested,
yes,
none of the old rules apply. That's why you have to apply for bail again.
Yes.
New bail conditions will have to be set and met.
Yes.
So it is an entirely new kettle of fish.
Yes.
You don't have to be a lawyer to know this. So that argument that some order may have pre-existed, it is in perpetuity, that ad infinitum until the court writes you a letter that your account has been frozen. Even if you are the court acquits you, will the court now write to you and say that your bank account has been unfrozen or defrozen?
Don't you think that in order to clear any doubts as to whether you can access your account or not, the courts through your lawyers would have to be notified that, look, based or on account of the dropping of the old charges and new ones being applied, or Godfrey Dame perhaps should have given legal counsel to Hanan as to whether he can now access her account or not by virtue of the dropping of the charge. You see, these things we don't know. What? No, you know why? I'm not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. Madam is a lawyer.
They should not come
we will reach out. We'll reach out to somebody who is not.
I believe so.
So we're trying to get Justice Abdullahi because it's some clarity.
I believe so. We should.
Yes. We need to get some clarity on this matter.
You will be in court.
Yes.
The prosecution will come and announce that they have dropped the case.
Yes.
Then they will argue that the court has not told you to leave the court.
Yes.
Once your case has been dropped, at that material moment, you are a free man. To all intents and purposes, you are a free man. Your rearrest starts a new process.
A new chapter.
Completely new chapter. I would have thought, this one is not rocket science.
Okay. So we don't have the full facts, but let's make progress. You are saying that you are questioning the reason or the basis for his arrest and subsequent detention. What we do know is that a habeas corpus, application has been filed by his lawyer to be heard on Monday. In fact, initially it was supposed to be heard on the later day, but it says he's filed for an abridgment of time, and that's why Monday is supposed to be heard. So in the absence of those full facts, we're struggling to wrap our head around the issue. But we can only grant the Attorney General and the Deputy Minister the benefit of the doubt.
We cannot.
No,
because it is about the right of the citizens. And it is bad governance practice that we would live at their pleasure that way.
Yes.
That is not how to govern a country in a decent manner. If you had any reasons, you should be telling us. We shouldn't be sitting on TV and second-guessing you and giving you the benefit of the doubt. It is the rights of individuals that is at play here. Rights.
Okay. All right. So, Betty, the last time I checked, you're also not a lawyer. So, all of us do kadaya. So, we are speculating, we are thinking aloud, because we don't have the answers. And we've been trying to reach the officials at the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, the Attorney General Minister of Justice's office. We've not succeeded, but we'll try and reach Justice Abdullahi. He's a private legal practitioner, or any of those private legal practitioners, to try and get some clarity on some of these issues. So I don't know, what have you also been thinking?
Well, my dear Moro,
yes,
from where I sit, clearly what I want to say on this subject is, let our viewers clearly understand that the person we are discussing, or the person in question, has been charged with issues of stealing, money laundering, and causing financial loss to the state. Let's be clear on that. Again, we should also be very clear that we have institutions in this country that have been mandated to do certain work, including protecting our rule of law. And so today, here we are, that security enforcement agencies then decides that for some information that they have received clearly indicates that our brother Abdul Hanan was falsely trying to access a frozen account. And so, having the law on their side and their mandate, they decided to interject and arrest him and then proceed. I don't see why this should be an issue for us this morning.
Okay.
I think that various institutions that we are using taxpayers' money to pay them to see to it that the rule of law, is implemented to its letter, they should be allowed to do their work. And from all indications, that is what they are doing. If the said subject has to go back to court with his lawyers to prove otherwise, of course, even when you go to court, the evidences or the investigations that are done, they are given time, or they are taken to court for court to prove whether the issues hold or they don't hold.
Yeah.
When the court
now decides to drop the charges, it doesn't just automatically take the case away. They have to follow due process.
Right.
And I'm sure that that is what they are going through. And so, from where I sit, sincerely, I feel that the establishment, the institutions in the country are doing their work. People's money have been lost along the line. And so for us to be able to have a transparent system, for us to be able to hold our officers, people that we have mandated them to work for us as Ghanaians, for us to hold them accountable, when some of these things come up, we should take our time in, you know, trying to find, I realized my brother Pius was trying to have this Dracula way of trying to intercept what the judgment or the case is all about. I think that, like you rightly said, none of us here seated are lawyers. We have our legal systems, we have institutions that have been assigned with the responsibility to make sure that wrongdoers are held accountable and they are brought to book. And so far, that is what I foresee in all of this back and forth. Of course, it's okay for us to bring the investigations and issues, and it is okay for their lawyers. And like he said, it is his right for him to, you know, to be entitled to a lawyer, for the lawyer to also be able to present a case that frees him or the other way around. And I think that exactly that is what the system is all about. We should not sit here trying to pass or to decide for the institutions that we have mandated or we have given our support to work. And that is my take on this Hanan case.
I get it, that we're all in our 6s and 7s. We are swimming in. So basically, we don't have sufficient information on this matter. I get it. But there are some fundamental issues that we need to deal with, even in the absence of the insufficient information that we have. So, for instance, when Hanan was arrested, you know, I mean, per his fundamental rights, which is entitled to, which is enshrined under the 1992 Constitution, I mean, when the BNI arrested him, if what his lawyers are saying is anything to go by, and I'm saying if, because we haven't heard the side of the Attorney General, and unfortunately, I don't know why the Attorney General's department has been quiet on this matter, apart from what Justice Sai has said. I mean, for instance, when the gentleman was arrested, per what his lawyers are telling us, he wasn't even told why he was arrested. You know, and that in itself, it's problematic. He should have been at least informed. That's number one. Number two, when he called his lawyer, Godfrey Dami, and told Godfrey Dami that, look, the guys have arrested me, even though the court said I'm free to travel, and they're not telling me why they've arrested me. And Godfrey said, oh, am I able to speak to the BNI officials and ask them why they have arrested you? They said, no. As for them, they are just there to execute a directive, which is to arrest you and not tell anybody why you've been arrested. I mean, what has happened to his Miranda rights, for instance? You know, so these are basic questions that we should be asking. As much as I agree with you that, yes, we don't have a lot of information, we must allow the institutions to do their job and so on and so forth. Yes, I get all of that. But these are questions that we need to get some answers. First of all, is it true that when he was arrested and he wanted his lawyers to speak to a BNI, is it true that he was denied? We need to get to the bottom of that. Number two, is it true that he was arrested but not even told why he was arrested? Those are the questions that we need to also get some answers on as far as this matter is concerned. So we'll make some progress.
You know, I sincerely believe that no single individual in this country is above the law.
Right.
All of us agree that we should allow the rule of law to work. And my brother is talking about the right of the individual. We totally and absolutely agree on that. But here's a situation that a high court has along the line granted this person some medical leave, and along the line the law enforcement agencies are giving the tip off that this same person is trying to access a frozen account. Like you said, until such a time when the Attorney General comes out with an official statement as to what really went into the decision to rearrest Mr. Abdul Hanan, all that we know is what's the information that has been put out there. So we should wait for them, whatever information they have. I'm sure that as Ghanaians, we are all asking the right questions. And so we should wait for the Attorney General's office to come out with an official statement. Then we can take a stand. Instead of trying to play around and trying to read probably political meanings and so on. These are the issues we are hearing today are from his lawyers.
of course, the lawyer has the interest of his client. And so we don't expect him to come and make statements on behalf of government. And so whilst the lawyer is coming out with his statement in the interest of his client, we are also waiting as citizens. And I think that is where our interest should be, both Pius, yourself, and myself. Our interest should be in what the government official statement will be, because at the end of the day, their mandate is to protect the ordinary taxpayers' contributions. So that is where I think that, look, well, let's exercise some patience. Let's wait. It's okay for us as Ghanaians to ask the right question, but let's also be patient, waiting for the right response. Okay. We cannot trust anybody, especially when the same person has been given that court leave, and unfortunately some of these mishaps that we are reading about has taken place clearly indicates that there's some sort of misfate along the line, and we could not, you know, jump into conclusions by just mere saying, or some legal or lawyer representing him coming up with a statement. I think we should exercise that patience and wait for the official statement from the Attorney General's office.
All right. I'll wait.
If I may just conclude.
Yes, please.
I think that, you see, Moro.
Yes.
Firstly, Madam talks about somebody being arrested for stealing, money laundering, and so on and so forth. These are bad charges. It does not impugn guilt.
Of course.
Until the matters are properly adjudicated upon and a judgment is given. The position that, Madam, you should have is that nobody has stolen any money. Nobody has laundered any money.
Yes, I charge the
burden of proof.
I agree.
So rehashing the charges could be misleading to maybe an uninitiated viewer who would think that, oh, Anan is guilty of something. Nobody is guilty. Charged there, anybody can be charged for anything. And so it doesn't mean anything. And nobody's money has been lost.
Is the basis for the investigation.
Nobody's money has been lost.
Is that also? Is the basis for the investigation?
Yes.
Yourself and myself sitting here, we haven't been charged with anything. And if we are, that is the basis for investigation.
But, I agree. But I'm saying that that investigation does not impugn guilt on the accused person. That's number one. But for me, Moro, we particularly politically exposed persons, we should be worried about the precedences that are being set. I'm very worried. Because look, for as long as we are in today, tomorrow
are you sure it's a precedent? It's not.
Thank you for that one.
No, it's not. It's not a precedent.
It's not a precedent.
No, it's not a precedent.
Tell me.
We have had.
You're going to talk.
We have the lives of Victor Salome and things like that. Way back.
That the court gave an order that they should go to the hospital and at the airport they were arrested. I don't know.
We are talking about the charges, not the court order.
The thing is, I don't want us to dwell in the past.
But yes,
because we have to move on.
But that is exactly the point I'm making.
Yes.
Because you see, tomorrow will come.
Yeah.
Even the NPP, after all what we have done in this country, from free SHS to God knows what, we lost power in 2024. Even us, talk less of the NDC that cannot even manage floods. You will definitely lose power at some point. How you are treated when you are not out of power, how you treat people today, begins already to set the pace and set the precedence and the pathway. And that is why I am worried that my incoming women organizer would not want us to establish the protocols and the ways that are, that are human. We should just be, why is there so much hate in this country? Why is there so much wickedness on the altar of partisan politics? The gentleman is not well. He will be out for 4 days. We have not even said that the man has gone to take money from his account. If you are supposed to even believe that cock and bull about an attempt to withdraw money, which for me is neither here nor there, and I'm trying to be charitable. A mere putting your bank card into your ATM constitutes now a crime for heavily armed people to be sent to airport to come and arrest you and prevent you from going to seek medical attention. People can actually die out of that. For what? Because they put their Ghana card in the machine. I mean, I think that some of these things we should not tolerate it.
No,
when they are obvious like this, we should condemn it.
Moro, let me tell you, I think that, my brother, if we want to condemn it, but then we should have started condemning it right at the time when your government was in power.
It didn't happen when my government was in power.
Do you remember the case of Woyome? You remember? I remember very well. They said he was arrested at a Rambo style in the traffic lights. If you want to condemn some of this,
but that one didn't have an order.
It didn't have an order allowing but it was allowed.
Yeah, but the arrests are allowed.
It was allowed.
But
You understand? So if you want to criticize and condemn some of these things, then we should know right within ourselves, we should start condemning it. All that I'm saying is that, look, if the officers feel that there was a need, because we should not use politics as a basis to for misappropriation or to misconduct ourselves.
But there has not been
because
any
if we are making reference, the statement we are reading here is that he falsely attempted to withdraw money from fraudulent account. This is what we are saying. And that is what I'm saying, that look, let all of us wait until such a time when the Attorney General comes out with an official statement. Until then, we cannot continue to speculate. Until then, we cannot continue to speculate. Otherwise, what the attempt you are doing right now, because you made reference to the fact that because we are political people, we should not allow the law to operate.
No,
I totally disagree.
I didn't say that.
I feel that
I said we should rather
people who have been given office of responsibility should be held, accountable for their stewardship. And so when the
revocation of their rights.
It is not a revocation of the right. What the statement that we are reading right here is that there was an attempt, an illegal attempt to access a frozen account, and that is what the argument is all about.
But Betty, you know my difficulty. You know my difficulty in all of this. My difficulty in all of this is that you see now you are trying to explain the issues, even though even you have not been fully briefed on what exactly happened. And so my difficulty is this: that when a matter like this comes up, and Godfrey Dame and the critics of what has happened have been in the public criticizing and taking on the government for what is happening, and yet government spokespersons are quiet
because they have eggs on their faces.
A number of claims have been made. A number of claims have been made, which borders on the fundamental human rights of Hanan. And you see, for me, whether it happened in the past or happened today, wrong is wrong. If it's right, it is right. If it was criticized yesterday, we must criticize it tomorrow. If we praised it yesterday, we must praise it today. My point is that, is it true that when Hanan was arrested, when he asked, why are you arresting me? A simple question. Nobody told him anything. He said, okay, can you speak to my lawyer? That one too, they said, oh, we can't speak to your lawyer. As for us, we've been asked to come and arrest you, so we are taking you away. Is it true? You see, for us, we're asking, because all of these claims are claims that are made by one party. Is it also true that when the guy was arrested and he was detained, he was denied access to his lawyer, his wife can't even come and serve him breakfast, he wasn't fed and all of those things? That's the Pius. If Pius comes here and tells you that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H is happening and it is not right, a number of questions have been asked. Look, Betty, even you don't know. And now I'm saying that in itself is problematic. Why is the government, why is Justice Sai, why is Dominic Ayeni, why is your friend said the BN, as for BNI don't tell you don't talk. We hear them. I have my own reservations about that. I think that somebody must be speaking for the intelligence community, depending on the specific issue. Not be all over the place and be talking. But there are some specific issues, depending on the public interest. Somebody must be telling us something. And so we are quiet. And all kinds of allegations have been made, and nobody said nothing. So how do you expect Betty to come and explain the issues away? Now she has been put in a situation where she says that, look, we should allow the institutions to work. What else do you expect her to do? I sometimes I'm struggling to understand.
So let's
understand. Especially for
a number of allegations have been made. Nobody is telling us anything. And so the lawyers for Hanan are riot, and they are telling us that, look, you've done this to our client, you didn't allow him to do this, you didn't allow him to do that, and everybody is quiet.
No, Moro.
What is the difficulty?
You can't blame them.
Apart from what Justice Sai went to post on his Facebook wall, yes, and said that, oh, the man has been arrested because he attempted to take money from an account which has been frozen. I'm even saying, if that is indeed the case, you could have allowed him to go. Yeah. When he comes back, say that, okay, Akwaba, you are back. Are you back? Okay. Do you know that we have this information that you attempted to do A, B, C, D? And that's in itself is a different charge.
Absolutely.
No, but Moro, that one I also disagree with you.
Okay.
So when a crime is being committed on the basis that a person has sought for court's permit to travel for medical, you think that we should be able to hold on the crime and allow the person to go and seek for medical?
I'm just saying that.
Because
remember that Betty.
He said assuming the case that Justice Ayo
is saying it's anything to go by.
We should allow him to go.
No, but Betty.
Assuming that somebody we just found out that somebody who has been given the court's permit or liberty. We found out that he's murdered, is allegedly murdered his wife or a relative. And the person, just because the person has been granted some sort of court permit, we should allow the thing to hold. We shouldn't. All that I'm saying is that, look, for now, I want to agree with you that as citizens of this country, we have every right to ask the basic questions, which we are all doing right now. But until such a time when the Attorney General's office comes out with an official statement, everything trying to run it down in the name of politics, that when people are given political offices, we should be careful and things like that. It's neither here nor there. Okay. Let's hold people accountable. Finito.
All right. Moro, I'm sorry, but I have to withdraw my endorsement of Madam Betty. The lines he's taking, I endorsed her for National Women's Organization.
But it doesn't take
But I've withdrawn my.
It doesn't take
the lines he's taking, it's scandalous. I can't associate with it. Moro, I bet you know that this Attorney General's department,
yes,
in our history, they have been the most media.
Unfriendly?
No, friendly. They are doing their cases in the media. They are doing their cases in the media. The only Attorney General you find organizing press conferences and passing judgment and say all kinds of things. Semsai is on social media on a minute-by-minute basis. Immediately he is in court. Even from court, he's tweeting.
Okay.
From Sunday up till now, he cannot speak, and you are worried. You know why?
You just said that he put something on social media.
Because you see,
and that is the basis for this conversation that we are having.
Stop digging. When you have eggs on your face, you run.
Okay.
The people have been embarrassed.
Okay.
This is wrong.
Before management puts eggs on my face, please, let's take a break. I beg you. I don't want eggs on my face. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please stay with us.
Our clients at all. Indeed, we were told flatly that they don't allow lawyers to see their clients on weekends, and that's quite perplexing. I'm surprised. If a person is arrested, say on Friday night or Saturday, he will be in without access to counsel. I mean, that's the republic in which we live now. And indeed, he's been picked up for no reason. As far as someone said, just been banded off into custody for no reason whatsoever. He's been given the right to leave the country, to travel to the country for a few days by a court of competent jurisdiction. The Deputy Attorney General himself was in court and argued, and this colleague of mine argued that day. And if indeed he had any objection to the order granted, he only had to appeal, but he had to resort to this surreptitious means of preventing from traveling. I think that this is totally unwarranted and unnecessary. There's no order of any court of competent jurisdiction preventing from accessing his account. The only order that they had was procured over a year ago before the discontinuance of the earlier prosecution. And we have a court ruling, a ruling of the High Court Adenta about 3 weeks ago to the effect that that order has lapsed, and that if the Attorney General indeed desires to come for a fresh freezing order, he has to apply to the court. He has not done so. There is no order of any court preventing from accessing his funds. Be that as it may, he has not accessed any funds at all. He should produce to the public, to the whole Ghanaian Republic, for us to see the manner in which he claims Hanan attempted to withdraw any money from the account.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7teragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561 032 252. 7teragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
Welcome to Gentleman Dental Clinic, where we run all dental procedures such as examination and consultation, root canal treatment, scaling and polishing, braces, teeth whitening, extraction, restoration, that is filling, teeth replacement. With this, we have the dentures, bridges and implants. Visit our branches nationwide at Tamale, Tishibu, opposite the post office. Also at Kumasi, Abreport Junction. Techiman Magazine off the Market Road. You can also locate us at Koforidia Central Market, adjacent the Central Police Station. Takrady, Tadisco Junction. Accra, our 2 branches are located at Atomic Dam, Kwabenya Runabout, and also at Nungwa, behind the Nungwa main road station. You can call us on 059 8731 823. Judgment Dental Clinic. It is time to smile again.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit the Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there's someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena. Yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della. Abena, bra.
Oh, Abena. If it's not Abena rice, keep eating it.
Abena rice. FDA
Hello, people of Ghana. Looking to buy land this World Cup season? I'm here to give you 6 solid reasons why Estate Masters is your most trusted estate partner. 1. We are genuine. Here at Estate Masters, every promise is real, every transaction genuine. We don't just sell lands, we sell peace of mind. 2. We are credible. Our credibility is proven. We are who we say we are, respected, recognized, and trusted across Ghana.
We sell litigation-free lands. With us, your land is litigation-free. No disputes, no worries, just security for you and your family. Free site visits. We bring you to the land at no cost. Free site visit mean you see before you buy with full confidence. Your paperwork is on us. We provide free documentation, ensuring your ownership is clear and protected.
And yes, you enjoy unbeatable discounts when you buy land from Estate Masters to make land ownership even sweeter. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure your genuine land with Estate Masters. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Every heart burning bright,
This July, Ghana will host global downstream energy leaders, innovators, and experts at the Ghana International Petroleum Conference, GIPCON 2026, to collaborate, exchange insights, and develop strategies and groundbreaking innovations through strategic dialogues. The event, held under the auspices of the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Junapo, is on the theme Building a Resilient Downstream, Policy, Innovation, and Investment for Growth. His Excellency John Drum Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, is our distinguished guest of honor. Speakers for the event are Mr. Godwin Kujo Tamaglo, Esquire, Chief Executive of NPA, Dr. Patrick Ofori, Chief Executive of Seaboard, Dr. Riverson Opon, Chief Executive of Comac, alongside other key captains of industry. Join us from the 16th to the 17th of July 2026 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day at the Palms Convention Center, La Palm Royal Beach, Accra. We can't wait to host you.
Thank you. What would we have done without you? I mean, our loyal and distinguished viewers, you still stayed with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. I'm still here with Madame Betty Seram Menta. Oh, I got there.
Seram is Mrs.
Oh, okay. So it's Mrs. Seram.
My brother's work.
Oh, so Betty Seram Cosby Mensah is former MP for the Afram Plains North constituency. And also Pius Enam Hajide. He's a former Deputy Information Minister and also Deputy Sports and Deputy Sports Minister under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration. So with your kind permission, I want to read some messages. Pius, because I don't want us to stretch this matter. We're going on and on. It's enough. So, Alhaji Fatawa Adamu actually wanted me to ask you about what you did to Gregory Afoko and the fact that you trampled upon his rights for many years. That's, people are now digging into the archives and trying to go back to things that happened in the past. And Alhaji have said that it was bad. It was terrible in the past. And so we shouldn't encourage it if indeed it is happening today. Anyway, so Mancha Bruce says that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Under the NDC government, it appears that once a person is arrested and brought before the courts, they are presumed guilty until proven innocent. The government must remember that there is life after politics and that power is transient. One day, posterity will hold them to account and it will be severe. Amazing convictions, Mancha Bruce II, Takrady Technical University.
Yeah.
Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. In my humble opinion, the former AG should not be the one talking about the rule of law and respect of democracy in this country. Under him, as AG in this country, we saw, you mean the former AG. Under him, we saw what happened. Gregory Afoko in this country under the former AG, Mr. Dami, was so shameful and should not be allowed to happen under any democracy. Gregory Afoko was guilty and discharged was acquitted and discharged by a competent court of jurisdiction. But what happened? Godfrey Dami said to us that this cannot happen under him. So today, the same person is out there talking about the rule of law and respect of democracy. I don't think he has the moral right to do so. We're still battling with the issue of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and we shall not allow this to also happen. The AG is doing their work, and he must be allowed to do this work. Moro, do you remember what happened to Mr. Victor Salome? He died in prison under this MPP government. So what are they talking about? Alhaji Hamza, but when those things happened, you were not happy. You complained, you criticized. And so if it's happening today and you say, okay, it's fine, because it happened in the past, there will always be a tomorrow. And I'm sure that you call and you text and say what the MPP is doing is wrong. So sometimes it's difficult to appreciate where we're coming from. If we say it is bad, it is bad. We must be consistent. Has always been my position. Anyway, now Carlos from Odododio says that extend my greetings to our women's organizer in waiting. Hey, Charlie. Once Carlos give you endorsement, you know your problem.
It's based on my earlier endorsement, which I've withdrawn.
No, you haven't withdrawn. We are not taking the withdrawal. Allah. So this one, it says, as for the gentleman speaking in your studio, I believe he should have been arraigned before a cause by now. I wonder why he's still working free. Now, former Attorney General of the previous government is one of the most blah, blah, blah politicians in the country. In my view, He has repeatedly made statements that I consider to be misleading. Because of that, I do not regard his comments as credible. His reputation has, in my opinion, been seriously damaged, so that I do not take this statement seriously. Please take a close look at the legal representation of the former opposition officials who are currently facing court proceedings over the alleged misappropriation of state resources and public funds. Notice that some of the lawyers defending them include the former Attorney General, and the former Attorney General, to me, this raises questions. It suggests that while they were in government, they did not believe that the members of their own administration were misusing state resources. As a result, they failed to caution them, hold them accountable, or ensure proper oversight. It appears they behaved as though the resources of the state belonged to them.
What is he saying?
Yeah.
Now, this one here, Peter T. from Shukura says that tomorrow, whether Hanan's arrest has been confirmed or cleared in relation to his crime he committed or not, has his own repercussions. Ghanaians had witnessed worse political arrests than the record of arrest one is witnessing under the current Mahama administration. Victor Salem, Kojo Chikata, and others. What were their crime? MPP must tell Ghanaians. Now Makojo Buafo has sent us a very gentlemen. Let's. I want us to look at this. It's a well-researched fella. That information that he's throwing at us, and I think we must pay attention to this. Now, Makojo Buafo is he's been watching Good Morning Ghana for the past 25 years. He's never missed it, you know. So a very loyal viewer. He's based in the US, and he's actually a lecturer. He's actually doing his PhD. So he says that my little research on getting a frozen account unfrozen after you're freed. So based on the comment you made, that once the charges were dropped, automatically the account should have been unfrozen. So he says, well, listen, one, you wait for the order to lapse. Yes. Okay? Most freezing orders have an expiry date. So if not renewed, bank must release. That's one. Two, you apply to the court. Your lawyer files a motion to discharge or vary the freezing order, and then you will show it to the bank. You were acquitted, discharged, and the funds are not proceeds of crime needed for legal fees, living expenses. Three, prosecution consent. Sometimes Yoko AG agrees to lift it once the criminal case ends. 4. Living expenses order, even while frozen, you can ask the court to release reasonable amounts for rent, food, legal fees. So what he's saying is it's not enough to say that, oh, once the charges have been dropped, account is unfrozen. He said it's not enough. You must go through, it's a process. So
the dental court actually has unfrozen the accounts. Yeah,
oh, really?
Listen to the Mr. Godfrey Dami on the tape.
Oh,
okay. Says it, that 3 weeks ago, a court of competent jurisdiction.
Oh, unfroze it?
Yes.
Oh, then he can have access to it?
Yeah, he said it on set.
Okay, all right. Now, Manche Bruce says Victor Solomon didn't die in prison. At the time he died, he had been released from prison. Okay. Now, good morning, Moro. Godfrey Dami is a complete blah, blah, blah. When ACP Agozo was asked to travel for his medical treatment abroad, has this guy, Godfrey Dami, the former Attorney General Minister of Justice, prevented him from going? Please, Moro, you are also being too emotional. Don't we have experts and good hospitals in Ghana for his medical checks? MPP should give us a break. Some of us have seen how bad they were and still so can't waste our time and resources on this nation records. Joshua from Kwashiman. I'm not being emotional at all. I'm just asking questions. I'm not being emotional. I don't know Hadan. I don't know him from anywhere. I don't know him from Adam. I've never met him before. But sometimes, as in life, you must stand for certain principles. It doesn't matter which political party you support. If you think it's not right, let's say it is not right today, so that it's correct. I mean, remember that, look, the government, President Mahama, has come on a reset agenda. Sometimes I think that, you know, my NDC friends tend to forget. It's a reset agenda.
There's no reset.
What this means is that that which was happening yesterday, that Ghanaians were not happy about, and so kicked the MPP out. When you come, you have promised the same electorates that you do things better. So when you come and there's a certain feeling or a sense that is not right, we must ask the government why. For the government to come and explain. If the explanation makes sense, we say, oh, now we get it. Unfortunately, we're not getting explanations. We're not getting the answers. The responses are not coming. And so we're just asking questions. That's all, you know. Anyway, good morning, Moro. The high-handedness, intimidation, brutalities, and above all, unfair treatment being meted out to MPP past office or just to satisfy their disappointed food soldiers will definitely deter Ghanaians with the best expertise to enter politics. I'm from Ata Eduse of Ofuase Kokobeng. Alfred Kojo Tradle says, did I hear Honorable Enam Hajide say it's inhumane to arrest somebody going to hospital With due respect, please ask him if he was right when Chachi Kata was arrested in church. I said, whoa. And when Alfred Woyobe, Victor Selem, etc., were arrested under the NPP when he was Deputy Information Minister. Moro, please don't talk for the NPP. Wrong is wrong. Let's all support this government to succeed. Alfred Kojo Traders. Hey, Charlie, now come and attack. I'm talking for NPP. That's the Deputy National Organizer aspirant. Now, that's from Alfred Kojo Traders. Alfred is a very good friend of mine. He's standing for the National Organizer. He's such a fantastic guy. Alfred Kojo Traders. My man. So Tafana Maria says, good morning, Audu, and your guest. Audu, where is the guarantee that shows that Mr. Hanan will return to Ghana after seeing his doctor? Audu, we're all here when Ken Ofori-Atta left this country with the same excuse of going to see his doctors, and he ended up refusing to return to face the alleged wrongdoing. Now, if we have suspicions he will not return, just go to court and tell the court, Charlie, stop the guy. It's as simple as that. The court would have stopped him. If you give the court basis why he should stop, just stop him. Anyway, so Reverend Samuel J says that, good morning, Moro. Your partner, Moro, I'm trying hard to agree with my brother Enam Hajide, and I believe he's very nationalistic. But my little problem is that why he did not maintain the same principle while his party was in government. Yes, it is disheartening to hear that someone is arrested on the way to the hospital, but was that right during their time? Please, what is wrong must always be wrong. We can do better for our nation. However, everyone must account for his or her stewardship, and if public money is misused, it must be accounted for. Did I hear Godfrey Dami saying somebody was arrested unlawfully and there was so much rush to do it? That's great. Repentance is possible. Ghana will move forward. In fact, it has made my day. Indeed, power must last forever. And then finally, Musa Bata from Sasawase. Moro, it's ironic that some politicians only become seriously ill after leaving office and facing corruption investigations, while everyone deserves proper medical care. Genuine illness should not prevent accountability. If there are credible allegations against any public official, the appropriate institution should investigate them fairly and ensure due process. Ken Ofori-Atta's case should serve as a lesson. The former Buffer Stock Company stock CEO attempted to travel while under investigations, raising similar concerns. No one should be above the law, regardless of political power. All right, so it's not time for Sanitation Watch, and then when we return, we'll look at our last topic, which is that Friday, every government official is supposed to be involved in some cleaning exercise. I'll tell you a bit more about that. But before we do that, let me just, we have Sanitation and Community Watch as part of the Good Morning Ghana program. So the coordinator for the Flood Mitigation Task Force, that's Brigadier General Foster Okai-Yeboah, and his team have visited identified water retention ponds and affected communities. Now, he was accompanied by Deputy Chief of Staff Operations Stanley Standogbe, and Minister for Water Resources, West and Housing Kenneth Ejay, and 15th Engineer Brigade Commander Brigadier General Richard Kine. The team visited Tessa Dam near the East Legon Boundary Road, Dam Fa, Amrahi and Oyarifa. The team also visited Equation Lagoon, where the 48th Engineer Regiment continued dredging, and a major storm drain along the Teshin Bush Road near the ICGC Temple East in Accra. The operation is part of the post-flood mitigation measures, follows government directive to the Ghana Armed Forces to lead the exercise. Now, the unit has taken delivery of excavators and tipper trucks to facilitate ongoing works. The post-flood mitigation measures will also include the possible demolition of structures that pose a danger to lives after the recent floods. Now, in this video, you see Brigadier General Foster Okai-Yeboah speaking to the media, and I'll tell you about what Zoomline is also doing in Kumasi with its post-flood intervention program. So, first of all, what I'm about to show is the Community Watch, and then we'll also show you, as part of sanitation, what the Zoomlion group has been doing in Kumasi as far as the post-flood mitigation exercise is concerned. Let's start with the Community Watch first. So in your short, you saw the Works and Housing Minister, that's Mr. Kenneth Ejay. So he's doing quite well, I think. And and then the soldiers, led by Okai-Yeboah, Foster Okai-Yeboah, who are busy trying to clear some parts of the ICGC Temple East and Accra, and also the Dam Farm right here, the Oyarifa area. So that's our community watch today. Someone actually drew attention to this, even though we already had the videos we intended to play as part of our community watch. So that's something that's happening. The military have taken over, led by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stan Dogbe. But Sanitation Watch, Zoom Lion, as always, and as usual, always coming to the rescue of this country as far as our sanitation is concerned. They are not being paid. They're doing this for free. Unbelievable. I mean, that's how much love and passion Zoom Lion has towards the cleaning agenda of this country. Now, let's watch what they've been doing in the Ashanti region.
Flooding in part of the country exposed the decline in our sanitation efforts. Since the incident, there's been a lot of announced interventions. In Kumasi, in the Ashanti region, the Ashanti Regional Minister, in partnership with Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, NADMO, and Dredge Masters, have begun desilting and dredging major drains in the region to curtail and mitigate the incident of flooding in the region.
The simultaneous exercise saw cleanup teams deployed to key locations, including Airport Roundabout, Krufrum, Asokore Mampong, and other flood-prone communities. Drains and waterways were desilted to improve the flow of stormwater and reduce the risk of flooding. The exercise was launched in collaboration with the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Dredge Masters Limited, and all the MMDAs across the region. According to Dr. Frank Amakohene, the intervention had become necessary following recent flooding incidents that claimed lives and caused extensive damage to properties.
Thanks to my mayor and my MMDCs, NADMO and Zoom Lion, we've had good cooperation, which have seen this massive work ongoing across the region. Here we are at Pelele, close to the airport. Asokore Mampong is holding similar exercises, which we'll be visiting them from here. Kwadaso, Echumong Obieja North, Ayensan, which is Asukwa, among the other district assemblies. And this is in preparation to anticipate and mitigate the effects of flooding within the region, if any may occur. Because as you all saw the drains and how blocked and choked they were, if there were any rains that were to come in, most definitely we're not going to have it easy. So these works will not end today. There is the beginning of a sustained effort towards making sure we clean these drains ahead of the heavy rains that are expected to come in.
He attributed much of the problem to indiscriminate waste disposal and urged residents to adopt responsible sanitation practices. He added sanitation must be a daily activity to sustain waste management efforts.
There is a human factor, there is the role of citizens in all these. The plastics, the woods, the rubbish that you found in the drain definitely came from households. As long as though we have left it unattended to. Just some 4 weeks ago we were here. Because NADMO has been sustaining this. And they even have a team on KN University campus that is also doing a similar thing for us because of the flooding issue that occurred some months back. But the point is that you will come and desilt, and the next few weeks will come back to almost square one. Yes, we've received concerns that why do you keep desilting when it will get dirty? It's just like bathing. You have to bath because most definitely you will sweat. Most definitely you have to keep yourself clean. So this should not deter us from coming out to support cleaning our environment. Sanitation is a daily activity or requirement. So you don't clean today and expect that it will be the same in the next few weeks or the next few months. So we will keep a sustained effort in this regard, whilst we make sure enforcement is well upheld.
According to the minister, the government cannot continue spending substantial public resources clearing drains that are repeatedly blocked through human negligence. Dr. Makohene announced that sanitation enforcement would be strengthened through environmental health and sanitation inspecting offices.
As part of the efforts in curtailing all these, KMA has taken the lead by launching the former tankers, that's the sanitary inspectors, sanitation inspectory officers, who are going around and making sure that there is compliance so far as sanitation-related issues are concerned. The other districts will follow suit, so that we will be able to get people who will help us with enforcement. Because most definitely we will not spend taxpayers' money in coming here almost every time to come and desilt the drains.
He added that residents who provide credible information leading to the arrest of individuals engaged in illegal dumping would continue to receive rewards under the region's whistleblower program.
In some weeks back, we made an announcement that anyone who could provide us evidence of people who are dumping indiscriminately will be rewarded. Thankfully, everyone who has submitted evidence and same has been proven or substantiated have received their rewards. So we are calling on the public that that offer is still in full force. Beyond that, there are others who have been prosecuted. I remember one of the cases that they have been sentenced to imprisonment for about 14 days, some for 30 days, and others. So this is to send a caution that we are ready to enforce the laws. So anyone who wants to go to market or go to town with their refuse or store them or hoard them in expectation that when the rains are coming, they will just come out and dump them in the rain. Be well advised.
Supporting the initiative, the Managing Director of Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Doris Kweko-Ejei, reaffirmed the company's commitment to improving environmental sanitation through its corporate social responsibility initiatives.
On Monday, we all know what happened. We had a major disaster in terms of flooding in parts of our country, Ghana. And so Zoom Lion, believing that our mission is to improve the lives of people, we are here and our heart goes out to the affected citizens of Ghana, those who have lost properties that have been destroyed, businesses and the communities. Our hearts, prayers and thoughts go out with you. Zoom Lion believes that in times like this, we need to deploy our trucks, our expertise to clean up and support the government and the people of Ghana. Governments cannot do it all alone. And so we are here, we are cleaning Ashanti region. We did at Greater Accra, and today we are here in Ashanti.
Yeah, so Zoom Lion is everywhere. Because I keep asking, what would Ghana have done without Zoom Lion? Thank you very much, Zoom Lion. Long live Zoom Lion Ghana Limited. You saw what they've been doing in Ashanti region, helping to clean up that part of the region. It's not just Ashanti. They've been doing that in Greater Accra, and I'm sure they're going to go around the country. And they're doing this just for Mother Ghana, just for God and country. And so, yeah, to whom much is expected, much must be given, isn't it? Or to whom much is given, much must be expected. They're doing all of this, corporate social responsibility. It is not, you're not charging the government a dime for doing this. Even though they're being owed by governments in the past, present, almost 600 million Ghana cedis, as we're being told. They still haven't been paid. But quite clearly, they're ready to help. So if they're ready to help, is it possible for some kind of talks to resume and look at where, how best the two, which is the government of Ghana and the company can do something together for Mother Ghana. Let me read this one from Kwame Sapasiedu. He's with the CDD Ghana. You know, he's very big on health and health-related issues, but also a very passionate Ghanaian about governance. He's also very passionate about governance issues. So he sends this message. He says, "Good morning. For me, the issue is beyond whether the accused rights are being abused or whether the arrest is lawful. Now, the real issue is why the players in our political space flip-flop when things like this happen. See, this country can only fix these issues when politicians accept that power is transient. They must remember that the same state institutions they use when in power are the same institutions that may be used against them when power changes hands. Those shouting for Hanan today were silent when the same was done to Oliver. That makes their shout hypocritical. Footnote, I am against abuse irrespective of who is in power. Remember when Oliver's rights were being abused repeatedly, Justice Sai was his lawyer. Is it also not ironic that the AG under whose watch Oliver's bail applications were opposed repeatedly is the one shouting about the abuse of Hanan rights? This country, Anyway, Kwame, I don't think you could have put it any better. And thanks for always sharing your thoughts. Very erudite thoughts indeed on the matters that we discuss here. Thank you very much, Kwame. Now, Samuel Brian Boabing, now he sends me pictures of pictures that were put out by another media colleague. I don't want to mention his name. And Samuel is not happy. Samuel Brian Boabing is not happy that those pictures were put out. He's wondering where that media person got those pictures from. He says, Moro, Hanan issue is about people who appear to want to use that state power to settle personal scores. We're not saying that if he has done something wrong, he should be spared. However, he deserves fair treatment and due process like anyone else. Did you know that pictures from his phone involving the ex-wife of a powerful person were leaked to Black Rasta to be discussed on his program? This is shameful and disgusting. And it says the case involving him and Edu Boahin is more of personal vendetta than any other thing. Ghana. Mr. Hassan Saudogo says, Assalamu alaikum, brother. Now, as far as the spokesperson to a lady in the studio, no, he's not. He says, I don't blame Pius in your studio running his mouth. He should be careful how he speaks about corruption and sports, else we'll remind him of Australia visa scandal. Ghanaians have not forgotten how Furiata ran away with our money with the excuse of going for medical treatment in the US. We know how some judges have been in bed with the MPP in the past 8 years. Buffer Stock CEO will not travel today or tomorrow. Okay. He's called Alhaji Hassan. Now, Opari from Suhum, it says Opari Suhum, aka still maintain JOP, the unified organizer. We told Ghanaians that NDC as a party has nothing better to offer Ghanaians again, but some Ghanaians didn't listen. NDC always deceives. Now, most Ghanaians have regretted for voting for the NDC back to power, but the polls don't show that. The polls show that the NDC is still very popular. John Mahama is still very popular, so I don't know. Anyway, now most Ghanaians have regretted for voting for the NDC. Whatever the promises are, whatever they promise is fake. Now look at how things are expensive in this country. God have mercy on Ghana. Lights bill, water bill, and many things are higher. My regards to Dr. Ampem Dako, next to whom MPP chairman, JOP, the unified organizer, still maintain. Incoming Eastern Regional Youth Organizer, and Chobwe, the communications officer. All right, so gentlemen, I want us to please move on because sorry, gentlemen and lady, sorry about that. Fachemi. Slips are forgiven. All right, so I want us to sanitation. We've heard what the new directive is. So the president has announced a 2-day national cleanup in flood-hit regions. So President John Dramani, and I'm reading this from today's Insight newspaper. President John Dramani Mahama has declared Friday, July 10 and Saturday, July 11 as National General Cleaning Days across the 7 regions affected by the devastating June 29 floods, which claimed about 13 lives and destroyed more than 7,000 households as part of efforts to improve sanitation and reduce the risk of future flooding. The 2-day exercise, organized under the auspices of the Post-Flood Mitigation Committee, will be held under the theme, Our Actions, Our Future, Cleaning Ghana After the Floods, with the initiative intending to mobilize citizens to clean their communities, protect the environment, and safeguard lives following the recent disaster. Announcing the exercise in a statement issued on Monday, July 6, Government spokesperson Felix Kwachofuzo described the cleanup as a critical national intervention and urged all Ghanaians to participate actively. As part of the exercise, President Mahama has directed all government appointees, including ministers of state, members of parliament, chief executive officers of state institutions, MMDCs, and heads of public institutions to leave their offices and personally lead cleanup activities in their respective communities. It will be carried out in phases to ensure effective coordination. On Friday, personnel from the security services, MMDC, and waste management companies will begin the operation, while members of the public will join the exercise on Saturday. The cleanup, according to the statement, will focus on desilting choke drains to improve the free flow of water ahead of the rainy season, clearing sand, weeds, and debris from roads and highways, and cleaning public places such as markets, lorry parks, recreational parks, and communal waste collection points. Betty, will you be cleaning on Friday too? I want to join you.
You have to.
Yes,
you have to. It's a directive coming from the president, not just only that.
Yes.
As good citizens of this country,
all right,
I think the time has come for all of us to not just, come and sit on national TVs and doing the lip service, but also back it with action by going right to the core challenges and see how best we can together help resolve some of these problems. Indeed, I want to use the opportunity to applaud His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for a fantastic initiative. The Borrow. In the year 2012 to 2016, the president came up with the initiative of the Keep Ghana Clean initiative, where I think the last Saturday of every month was declared a National Sanitation Day. Right. For all of us to be cleaning our communities. I felt that it was one of the greatest, fantastic initiatives that helped us to clean our environment. I mean, if for nothing at all, for the purposes of preventive health, it was necessary. Unfortunately for us, in 2017, the new government took office, and we saw that important initiative, just die a natural death, to create or give room to the creation of the Ministry of Sanitation, which of course didn't do much for us at all as a country. But I want to say that I am particularly grateful to the president for this initiative, and with the rapid response with which he has responded to the unfortunate natural disaster, the flood that just took all of us, took all of us by surprise, and unfortunately took some lives and properties. And so I want to applaud him for the initiative. Of course, he didn't just leave it there. He has shown his commitment towards the protection of life and livelihood. Immediately, we also acknowledge how the president directed for the release of about 350 million Ghana cedis out of the contingency fund from the Ministry of Finance to see how they can mitigate issues of flood and also support people who have been affected. All in all, clearly shows that this is a president, or this is a government that is really committed to protecting and saving lives. As citizens of this country, I feel that the time has come. I realize that a lot of our other colleagues want to play some sort of joke and politicize the issue. One thing that we want to put clearly out there is that when it comes to natural disaster, these are natural. They are issues that man generally do not have control over it. However, how we are able to prepare, how we are able to mitigate it, that is what we need to be looking out for. And so for now, I believe sincerely that we all have a lot of work to do. This is not a time for us to go back and be blaming one another. This is a natural disaster that is affecting everybody. Again, when the president, that is the head of state of this country, want to look at issues from the holistic angle, I want to say that I want to appreciate him. Because when you walk from one community to the other, or from one household to the other, you don't get the entire situation as it will be. But with
you don't get a full picture.
You don't get a full picture. But with the president going up in the air, trying to assess it from the perspective of being up there and trying to develop initiatives and strategies as to how we can address some of these issues, I think that it is a decision in the right direction, and we should all come together as a country and support it. Whilst we're looking at it, we are also applauding the deployment of the security agencies for coming to support the National Disaster Organization, that is NADMO, in trying to resolve some of these issues. And also recognize that the incident of the flood, I think per the records, in the month of June 2026, we have recorded the highest rainfall ever in our history. This has never happened, and so in one way or the other, you can clearly see that we're not expected, we're not prepared for it. But going forward, I believe that together we'll be able to develop policies and initiatives that will be able to address, including keeping our environments very clean, including also making sure that we don't necessarily build in waterways that will obstruct the free flow of our drains and many other things. And I believe, all in all, we should all be on the alert. I know that from the report, the rains have not come to an end. We should be expecting more rains going forward. The reallocation of, I think there has been some reallocation of people within lowlands to, relocated to highlands, just so when the situation happens, the effects will not be as disastrous as we are experiencing. I want to use the opportunity to also call on civil society organizations, especially because some of the videos that we saw the last time, I would say they were rather unfortunate, because sometimes you see that possibly your communities or your area of residence are low lands, and so they have the probability of getting flooded. When you see some of this situation, quickly want to use the opportunity to admonish Ghanaians that if you live in such environment, when the time comes, you should quickly move out, take a few belongings that are essential, move out to a high ground area. That will ensure that you are clearly protected. Let me, whilst we are talking about it, I observed and saw the intervention from various agencies, including Zoom Lion. I must say that we appreciate their work. I remember in the year 2015, 2016, when our own brother, Ibrahim Mahama, came up with a suggestion to go and dredge the Odo. We didn't have our brothers from the other political aisle supporting it so much. They felt that it was coming from the president brother, and so we shouldn't welcome it. But in the end, we have progressive Ghanaians who at every point in time want to come in and support. And so I want to use this opportunity to applaud our brothers, Zoom Lion, Chairman Ejapong, for the intervention. Yes, for the intervention he has granted to the people of Ghana. He's doing a lot, but the people of Ghana government has also done a lot for him, and I believe that we can continue to collaborate. We can continue to collaborate to see how best Ghanaians at the end of the day get the benefit of it. Some of his services, really went a long way to help sanitize our environment. Not in absolute sense, but I think that that's a discussion for another time. But I think for now, collectively, Friday, Saturday, let all of us, put our hands on deck. I'm calling on our brothers from the other political parties that they shouldn't look at it as President Mahama's initiative and then try as much as possible. Usually when some of these initiatives come, we want to make it as political as possible. But when death comes, in fact, the people who fell victims to this very flood, we are not able to identify whether they are MPP or NDC. So these are situations that affect all of us in totality. And so if the president in his good sense or in his wisdom feels that another way to handle some of these things is to see how best together we can sanitize our communities and our environment, I think let's all join hands in this cause and see how best we can help mitigate the issues of flooding in our communities.
But I have good news for you. I am happy
to hear that.
Pius has decided that he will be very nationalistic about this topic.
That is
good.
He
just sent me a message. That's a good news.
I am pleased to hear that.
You called on him, and he says once you call on him, he can't say no. So
Moro, we don't really have a choice at this moment.
He'll be joining us to do the cleaning on Friday. But now you have to give us the venue. You still haven't told us the venue. So that we can join.
The issues are within our communities. I think that it will be proper, even if within your own community you're able to do something.
We want to come and clean with
you. Clean with me.
So tell us where you will do the cleaning so that we can.
I think we should all move towards somewhere, Alajo area, not too far from here. Let's move there and see what we can also.
So Friday we have an Alajo visit.
Yes.
After that, shout some kinky and things.
That you don't have to worry.
Well, so, there's nothing wrong with a call to clean our environment. And if it was made in good faith and not as a PR stunt to drive a certain narrative, shift the blame to the ordinary Ghanaian, the unfortunate Ghanaian who has lost 34 Ghanaian lives that have been lost, the several hundreds of thousands that have been affected. The position that the government has adopted, and this has come to further entrench it, is to push the blame to the Ghanaian citizenry. Oh, you don't clean your environment properly. Oh, you put litter in the gutter's choke and all of that. I think that it is okay to encourage us, ask us, even legislate it that we should be concerned about our general sanitation. That's a good call. But at this point, what is happening is that government is using this cleanup to further push the narrative that it is the fault of the ordinary Ghanaian. But in this instant matter, it is not. It is the actions and inactions of government that led to the flooding. As for heavy rains, we cannot stop it. It's an act of God. Nobody can stop heavy rains. And Madam is right. The rains were very, very heavy. But it was the things that we failed to worry. The Ghana Metro told the government that this year's rain in June were going to be heavy. We have had the military all along. So we should have been proactive and not reactive. After we have lost 34 lives, now we are saying that we are asking the military to come so that we clean. When we had been warned far back as in February. So government must accept responsibility. A number of projects had been started to deal with the perennial flooding in Accra. Because you see, Accra lies in between the Ekuapim Ridges and then the sea. And the concretization that, I mean, we can call it modernization, but there's concrete all over the place now. Everybody's put concrete in their homes and all of that. So the soil that should be available so that water can percolate into the ground, we have reduced it. So there's a lot of run water when the rains come. And that is why we needed the Garage program, for instance, to expand drains, construct drains, have a holding pond around the Kwabenya area and so on, so that when water flows from the Ekuapim Ridges, at least there can be a break. Even the force of the flow can be, if you have these, the ponds that were designed under the Garage program. The World Bank has now told us that it was the inability of the states to continue funding because of the austerity measures that have been introduced at the Ministry of Finance. That is why a lot of these construction projects that were started under the erstwhile NPP administration has stalled. Water will find its own way. If you don't create way for water, water will find its own way. And so it is the inactions of the state, the things that we fail to do. Look, the president put out a committee to deal with the flood issues. Guess what? There are ministers of state in the committee. The president chose to give the chairmanship of the committee to a deputy chief of staff. Who does not have power to even summon or compel the minister. The minister on the hierarchy of the governance is above the deputy chief of staff. How then do you put a deputy chief of staff in charge of two ministries? Even in that committee, the interior minister who went to parliament to speak, Nadmo and Co are under the Ministry of Interior. Even in that committee, the interior minister is not in that committee. Complete misalignment, complete lack of understanding of the governance process. So I believe that even as we encourage people to join in the cleaning, we must remind our governments that they have a responsibility to the people of Ghana. And the PR stance should enough of it. The settings, there's so much. The thing has become like a makeup. Now with the heavy rains, all the makeup is being washed out. Lives are being lost. Livelihoods are being lost because we failed to do what it is that we have to do. And more, I was just reading something. This is His Excellency President John Mahama's budget for 2026. Paragraph 527. Drainage interventions were implemented in flood-prone areas, including Kaneshi, Sakaman, and Adabaka. Over 40 kilometers of primary and secondary drains were distilled, benefiting 2.5 million residents. 40 kilometers. Then I went to 2023. In 2023, the government of Ghana undertook extensive flood mitigation efforts aimed at reducing perennial flooding. Approximately 1,000 kilometers of drains were excavated, desilted, and maintained across the country. you can see a world of difference between what the NPP government did and what the NDC government is doing, even though you were warned that you were going to receive heavier rainfall. The Gary, we did not implement on it. So please, madam, it is good to invite us to clean. We will join you to clean because, like they say, country broke, country no broke, we all day inside. So we will join you to clean. But you see, when you are voted into power, you are giving the mandate of the people and the resources of the people. Just this year, over 300 billion of our money is in your custody. That's the budget of this year. Over 300 billion cedis. We have given it to a small group of people headed by His Excellency President John Mahama. We have given you the authority to manage the affairs of state so that we can, if not prevent, we can at least minimize and mitigate. Okay. Now lives have lost. They won't come back. Okay. People's businesses have been destroyed. And it makes me very sad.
He just invited me in, so just give me...
It makes me very, very sad.
I was just about to apologize to you.
No, I don't need an apology. I will appreciate an opportunity.
No, what I was promised was not what was delivered. So I say I'm sorry.
So just give me 2 minutes to try and respond. Just that he invited.
Give him my time. All my time.
Yes, thank you. You know, Pius.
Yes.
I was hoping that we will stick strictly to the invitation by the president and not reduce this very important social subject to issues of politics.
It's not social subject.
Please let me come in. Because sincerely, I'll tell you, we have a head of state who has made a call for all Ghanaians to come together to address this issue. You know, irrespective of our political relationship.
So
now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You know, Boro, fortunately for me, I happen to be a member of parliament during the 7th and 8th parliament. And so the issue that my brother is leveling here, it's neither here or nor there.
Which one?
If you made some interventions in terms of drains of thousands within a period of 8 years, you expect the same government to do the same level within a period of 1.5 years. It is neither here. Please, now let me tell you something. When he talked about Garrett, I quietly listened to him. You know, at the time the Garrett initiative came up, I was a member of the Works and Housing Committee of Parliament. And clearly, when they brought the policy, I was one of the excited persons because I felt that the whole pictorial thing they showed on Garrett was something that was going to put Ghana on that pedestal. Let me tell you,
you came and installed it.
No, please.
You came and installed it. I can read to you the list of the contracts that were
now, let me tell you, a total amount of $350 million US funds from the World Bank was approved.
Yes.
A total of 103 million was released.
Yes.
Now, my brother Moro, out of the 103 million that was released, listen to what these people use the money for. They used 22 million Ghana cedis on training.
But is that not part of the agreement?
22
but you are
million
not aware that in huge projects like that training.
Please, 7.9 million Ghana cedis was spent on just consultants.
You say consultants?
Let me tell you, we are talking about the subject. You know, we are talking about drains. We are talking about people's lives. We are talking about livelihood. And the total amount, you know, more than 90% of the amount released was used on subject. Yes.
The design of the drains. The design of the drains is just for you.
You understand? But that's what they do.
When you say just for you,
I don't want to understand. 22 million Ghana cedis was spent on training alone, without going to the core of the subject. 7.9 million was spent on consultants.
But is that not what you approved in Parliament?
Yes.
But is that not what you approved in Parliament?
This is not what we approved.
You don't even know what you are saying. How can you say that?
We approved the money.
How can you say that?
What about you?
This is what you approved in Parliament.
60.8 million. 60.8 million was issued on issues of COVID. That one, you are telling me that was what we are.
It is all in the agreement.
Let me tell you, when we come here and we are discussing these issues, I want us to divide ourselves of politics. Let's look at the interests of Ghanaian citizens and whole and see how best we can address it. Your ministry, the whole ministry that was set up as Ministry for Sanitation, at the end of the day was used to create loot and share among the members of. That is why the situation when we had a minister for sanitation keeping more than millions of cedis under her bed, to the extent that her house help could have access to more than 1 million Ghana cedis. Where was that money coming from? There was about 46 million cedis that was dedicated for dredging of Odo, and today this Odo situation has not changed. So when we come to sit here, we have a president that is making
Ghanaians that look, let's come together and see how we resolve this issue and stop politicizing the issues. And we come here, you want to say what?
You must call out cheap propaganda.
It is not propaganda. If anybody is doing propaganda, it is you. If anybody is doing propaganda, it is you. Because look, within a period of 1.5 years, at least we know that the president even has spent more money than you spent.
All right,
let me give you that 6 years.
Up next in sports. Our time is up.
It's sort of entangled. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players. A very vital player, and he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. I said, boy, that's a big, if it happened to another player, it would have been unfair, but when they take your best player, or just about, they have some great players, and they say you can't play, that's very unfair. That's, it's one thing to penalize somebody for the game, but how do you penalize them for a game that hasn't been played yet? It's very unfair. You can't do that. So, yes, I asked for a review by FIFA. I spoke to a man who's highly respected, and by the way, whose level of respect has gone up tenfold.
And here comes Lamine Yamal, typical of him.
Oh, that's a tremendous save. What a brilliant passage of football that
Costa. And here comes Lamine Yamal, typical of him.
Oh, that's a...
Ferran Torres, we might not need extra time. Mikel Merino. Ferran Torres, we might not need extra time. Mikel Merino. Ferran Torres, we might not need extra time. And here comes Lamine Yamal, typical of him.
Oh, that's a tremendous save. What a brilliant passage of...
The World Cup digest. Where the World Cup season, as you do know, where quarterfinals has been played, Ghana is out of the competition. What is it that we're hearing? Eben, first of all, how are you doing?
Good.
What is it that we're hearing that the Ghana Football Association intends to extend Carlos Queiroz's contract? How true is this?
Well, I think that it's a notion, and I don't want to say it's to test the waters.
Okay.
But if you read through the contracts of Carlos Queiroz and the Ghana Football Association, it was for the World Cup period. It was for 4 months. And after July, it is done. And I don't see how we are saying extension. You understand? Because if I read the message from Carlos Queiroz, he's not gone. He's still with us. What it means is that he is going to stay for a little more. I'm hearing 2 years. That's what I'm hearing from where I sit. So the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, in collaboration with the Ghana Football Association, may have agreed with the coach to extend his contract. That is something that we will have to know and hear from the Minister of Sports and Recreation, of which he's not told us. But he has said that the coach has not resigned. So that is the current state of...
so what was the statement that Carlos issued state? What was that meant to achieve?
Well, because we gave him 4 months contract, he is done. Not forget, sorry for the language, he's a white. He is done with a contract to the Ghana Football Association. The World Cup is over, his journey is over. But it is left with the GFA and then the Ministry of Sports and Recreation to engage him and to extend or to continue the relationship. And that is what I think has been done, but has not been communicated to Ghanaians.
Hey! So when he talks about the fact that the future begins now, or begins from now, apparently the man you are here saying that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I was a bit.
So it appears that the man has been handed over a contract extension, right?
That we can't confirm, but we can say.
It also appears.
Yes, we can say so.
But the Ministry of Sports is yet to inform us about this matter.
Yeah.
That's interesting. For now, it's still speculative.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But as for the 4 months contract that he had with the government of Ghana, or had with the Ghana Football Association, that 4 months contract has elapsed.
Yes, July.
Elapsed in July. We're in July.
Yeah.
And from what you're saying and from the little whispers around, it appears that he's been given a so it won't be a contract extension. Actually, it would be a new contract that has been given him.
Maybe he was on probation. He's going to.
But so I'll tell you what I think about how is the sports fraternity taking this. I mean, the possibility that Carlos is going to continue to be the coach of the Black Stars.
Yes, I think 75% of Ghanaians expect him to continue. Not forgetting that when we were going to the World Cup, we had no hope. Our team was shambolic. It was a good team. He came to give us hope, and he told us what he experimented at the World Cup that this can be a team that can conquer Africa and do well in the World Cup in the subsequent years. So I think the contract will be given to him based on the hope he's giving us at the World Cup stage.
But we also saw a Black Stars that was not expressive. They couldn't pass well. They couldn't dribble. They couldn't. I mean, you know, we are known. Well, there's the reason why we're called the Brazilians of Africa, because we like to, we like to express ourselves.
Yeah.
We like to play in a certain way. We like to attack, and so on. But then we have the Black Stars that is seen to be defending most of the times, low block Black Stars, and not a high block team. So it would be interesting if indeed he's been given a contract extension to hear or to listen to the reason why this contract extension has, because I don't think he's the only coach currently who can coach the Black Stars and let them get and for them to win some laurels, because we still can get a coach that can let the Black Stars play the way the Black Stars want to play, which is like how we like to play.
It depends on where you are analyzing the station from. You want to see a more offensive Black Stars. Yes, but if it's giving us the results, that's good.
But that's not how we play. That's my brother, bro. We can still play, attack, and win.
So what's the aim of playing attack? To win.
Yes, to win.
If you are playing defensive and are still winning, you are winning.
No, but you can't play defensive football and win. you only stop people from scoring, but you don't score.
No, if you study his play well, he sits the low block, but occasionally opens to get a goal. So that is where he uses the sharp wingers like
we scored 1 goal.
2 goals in a World Cup.
Sorry, 2 goals.
Yeah.
And we apparently made just 3 attempts. In the entire, the 3 teams, 3 or 4 teams that we played.
Teams, yeah.
Our stats was actually the worst in this World Cup with this coach.
But we got to the round of 32.
No, but that's not an achievement. We've been to quarter-final. In fact, we're the first African team that could have potentially been to the semi-final.
Exactly, that's right.
But for that, I mean, so the least, they're quite be crying. But we kept defending, and there's just something wrong with the system. Yes, I get it that the players would have taken time to get accustomed to the system, but I'm not sure Carlos is just the best fit for the way the Black Stars it's known to be played. I mean, Javi Renard is around though.
Oh, Javi Renard. Javi Renard, okay, well. But you see,
he's an achiever. He's won a lot of cups with the African teams. If
you look at how strategic he was at the World Cup, he played to the materials he had, and he didn't want to. If we are,
but you sat here. You see, this is a problem. You sat here recently, and told me that anybody and everybody who has watched Carlos. When he coached Portugal, when he coached Colombia, when he coached Saudi Arabia,
Manchester United,
is known for a certain style of football, which is low block and catch you on the counter. The man is not going to change because it is Black Stars. He's not going to change because now Kudus is back, John Pencil is back in the team, and I'm told there's a guy who plays for Montreal in Canada. Very skillful guy. He's very good. He's very good attacking guy. But the way Oman plays. How?
You see.
Anyway, we'll take the confirmation from Betty. It's very whether it's been extended or not. She has all the.
I know it's been extended.
But Donald Trump, he said what? So he called the FIFA president and told the FIFA president to renew Folarin Balogun's red card, the US striker, and FIFA to acquiesced, and they lifted the thing, and they played. Fortunately, they lost 4 goals. If they had won that game, yesterday's game would have been the problem.
And sometimes it's very worrying. But you see,
it's the same FIFA that's warning everybody that the government around the world should not interfere in the work of their football associations. And look at what they're doing.
But that's not feasible, and the government always interferes.
Well,
every government everywhere.
Well, I don't
Everybody,
know.
You go to the government to take money, and you say they shouldn't interfere.
It depends on what you define by interfere.
So,
but let's listen to Donald Trump. He's explaining why he did what he did.
Yet, it's sort of entangled. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players. A very vital player, and he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. I said, boy, that's a big, if it happened to another player, it would have been unfair, but when they take your best player, or just about, they have some great players, and they say you can't play, that's very unfair. That's, it's one thing to penalize somebody for the game, but how do you penalize them for a game that hasn't been played yet? It's very unfair. You can't do that. So, yes, I asked for a review by FIFA. I spoke to a man who's highly respected, and by the way, whose level of respect has gone up tenfold. It's sort of entangled. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's...
You heard him.
Yeah, that's okay.
You don't find anything wrong with what he did?
Oh, if he's right, if he's wrong, what do I say? This is the president of America.
Yes,
calling the shots.
It doesn't give him the right.
Yes, but he's done that. And we succumb to it. FIFA succumbed to it. And that's it.
I just feel that the statement of Donald Trump has clearly exposed the corruption within FIFA.
Yeah.
It has clearly exposed the corruption within FIFA. And I think that this is a very sad situation, if you ask me. Because I felt over the years that football should be the only independent kind of platform that gives nations the opportunity to explore and give them to showcase their talent and what they have. And if we have a situation where even, I remember when Partey wasn't able to get the Canada visa, and when these issues were brought to government, to FIFA said they didn't have the mind to interfere in some of this national situation. And yet, a country, the president of a country can interfere on the decision of FIFA. I feel that it is rather unfortunate, and that the bodies that makes up FIFA, the FAs, they should come together and challenge this very behavior. Otherwise, we are not going to have the football that we all enjoy so much.
What do you think? What is the thinking of the government sports ministry about Carlos? Do we want him to continue? Or?
When we had this conversation, when we started, I clearly indicated that I'm no longer the senior technical advisor.
But what filler you get?
No, I don't have any filler. But I was actually waiting and listening to our sportsman on his take. Sincerely, like you rightly said, our team, that is the senior national Black Star team, was a team that going into the 2026 World Cup, Ghanaians really underestimated the team. With even the qualification processes, people were not so confident with the technicalities of Otuado, and eventually called out for his removal. And then eventually we came in with Carlos. Okay. I feel that we have been able to raise the bar to a certain level. Okay. Looking at the time that he came in and the deliverables, I think it was not bad at all. If he had come in a bit earlier for them to have that...
I just don't like his style of play.
Well, you see, Ghanaians generally didn't expect us to go beyond the group stage.
Yeah, but we can get a better coach. We can get a better coach.
We did. And so, all in all, like he said, let me tell you something. This country is a democratic place. And if today, per assessment, we believe that about 75% of Ghanaians feel that, look, he said they want him. 75% of Ghanaians feel that, look, from where we were and where he's been able to, even in the FIFA ranking, we have been able to drop from 76 to 65. We've made some progress. And so if they feel that, look, let's hold on for a while and see what changes we can make, why not?
All right. Our time is up, unfortunately.
You don't want me to say something?
Yeah, no, as a former deputy, England versus Mexico today.
No.
I know. But I don't like it. I don't like this low block style of play.
Don't you see any similarities between how the Black Stars of Ghana performed in the World Cup?
Yes.
As against the way the country is being governed as we speak?
Did
you have to bring it to that level?
Thanks for joining us this morning. Thank you very much for time.
Our performance was the worst.
Compared to
yes.
Out of all the 42 countries
no.
We went with the world.
Yes, my name is Admo. Thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana. Have a good day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye bye.